cheers to episode 191. What's in the mug tonight? Let's see.
Oh,
can you stop using that?
No, it's going to be my go-to. This is actually a new drink. I don't think I've ever tried this brand before.
No, Evan, eat some of your ice cream.
I ate it all.
Oh.
Have you guys ever had a pop called Zevia?
Don't drink it.
A what?
You're telling me don't drink it?
I saying I don't drink pop.
The only pop I drink is Mountain Dew Baja Blast from Taco Bell. So, no.
Apparently, it's a zero sugar soda. Supposed to be. It's basically just carbonated water.
Ew.
But there's caffeine in it.
I think in this specific one there is, but a lot of them don't.
So you're drinking caffeine again at 9 p.m.
It's Dr. Zevia, so this is their Dr. Pepper flavor.
So you're drinking caffeine at 9
Rate
p.m.
it 1 to 10.
This is your first sip live?
No, I had some before.
Then why didn't you just give a number?
6.5.
Oh,
Never
pretty high.
heard it. Oh.
It's clear too. It's kind of crazy.
Oh,
It's a clear. It's a clear liquid.
Oh, language.
Oh, spilled a little. I spilled. Mommy, I spilled. What are we going to talk about tonight? Tonight is, well, first of all, tonight is Sunday. First Sunday show. Day. Oh, if I sniffle a lot, let me know because I'm battling a cold.
Well, don't drink caffeine late. It ruins your sleep. And then if you get bad sleep, you get sick. That's why you get sick more than anybody I know.
I knew you were going to say that.
You do, though.
No,
you're
there has
more
to be someone.
sick than anybody else I've ever met in my life.
Not true.
Name one person. A mutual person that we both talk to.
I think I just tell you every time I'm sick or you find out somehow. I think other people get sick. You just don't know.
Name it. Name a person.
I don't have one.
Evan doesn't get sick very much.
I'm stumped. Evan, after the Chicago trip, Evan could have died.
Yeah, but that was just his eye was he wasn't sick.
Battling if I didn't wake up one morning.
Sometimes Evan's hangovers are bad, but he's not sick.
It's self-induced.
You pretend you have COVID every 3 weeks.
That's not even true. I'm quadruple vaxxed.
For everyone listening.
I'm kidding.
I forgot the thing even existed, and then I heard that the
Do
COVID
people
word.
still get it?
Rumor has
They
it
Or
they
get
still
the vaccine?
do. No,
I think they give them out like flu shots. I think you can get the COVID version. I saw
you got yours.
the card. I got a flu shot this year. Yes, I did get a flu shot.
Touchdown.
I saw my
Will Disley.
COVID vaccine card in my wallet like 2 months ago. I was like, oh shit, that was a thing.
I have
Like,
mine
had
right
it.
here.
I definitely
Will
don't have
Disley just
mine
scored.
anymore.
My Justin Herbert Will Disley stack might bring me back against the Ricky.
I went to go pick up Will Disley this morning instead of Taysom Hill, and then
Evan has it right
realized
there.
Will Disley wasn't there, and then Taysom Hill was way better.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Most
Taysom Hill could have won me
worthless
my week.
card or piece of paper the government has
Yeah,
ever
I don't
given
have
us.
that card anymore.
You should blow snot into it.
I don't have that.
I might frame it.
Sunday, November 17th, 8:51 p.m. Winners and losers, Pookies and Dookies of the week. As always, our top 10 college football rankings before the college football playoff releases theirs on Tuesday night, so we can cuck them on their
Which are more
rankings
better.
this week.
More better.
for sure.
More better.
Lions recap. It was a JV game. Michigan. I have Michigan football, but they don't. Nothing really.
Did they
Maybe we
win
can
this
talk
bye
about-
week? Because last time they had a bye week, they lost it.
Is Kirk Campbell still employed? That's a loss.
Oh!
I do have Michigan State. I have like 2 questions on Michigan State football for you guys.
Watch it.
And then
Alrighty.
I also wrote down 2 questions about Michigan State basketball for you guys.
Oh,
So that's pretty much it for this week. We'll hop in, as always. Alex, anything notable since we last spoke on Monday night?
golf Tuesday. It's the same old. Nothing exciting. I think we shot 8 under. Pretty normal.
So that was during the Champions Classic. Did you have eyes in that game?
I got there. There's 8 minutes left in the game when I got there, but every single TV in there had it on. So I didn't miss anything.
Kind of feel that game feels years ago. I can't believe
Yeah,
you
it felt like a
recorded
long
before
time
that.
Long week of work. Did not work Friday. Got a haircut Friday. Played golf Saturday morning. Shot 79.
Outside
Outside, Grant, yes.
degrees.
77.
Wow. Well, your haircut situation, you've been in Houston a while now. Do you have a go-to spot and same person and everything, or does it still vary person to person?
Yeah, I go to the same person.
Like a national chain, or is it a local spot?
No, it's a local spot.
Nice. That's a good feeling.
It's not
Book online, or you just walk in?
I can usually just walk in, but I can check online before to see if they're busy.
Nice. My Sport Clips is a revolving door right now, and I don't love it.
You go to Sport Clips?
Yeah.
Been there a few times.
It's not my...
I go to Great Clips.
Great Clips. God, it's confusing. Why are there
Great
two
Clips
different
does
ones?
men and women. Sport Clips is just men.
Just dudes.
Yeah, I think that's the difference.
Doing a local spot, but I didn't really find one that was feasible for appointments and stuff, so I just do Sport Clips.
It's just too fast and too convenient for me.
I usually go right when they open on Saturday morning. If I don't have anything going on, I'll be there at like 9 or 10 a.m. Just get it done.
What do you tell them, Evan?
Huh?
What do you tell them when you walk in?
What do you mean?
What do you want done to your hair?
Just make me look sexy.
Oh, my profile's saved on it, so every time they print out my receipt saying, Evan, you're ready, they tells you what haircut I want.
They're not like, hey, you want to do something different today?
They do. They always ask me, and then I usually say the same thing. Or instead of a 3 on the sides, I usually say a 4 or 5. It's the only difference. Depends on how short I want it.
No mustache, Evan. I forgot we were in Movember.
I've looked at my old photos, old pictures of myself recently, and I just hate myself without a beard. I will never get rid of this.
Nothing wrong with that. I think that's in like the majority of America now. I feel like beards are all the way back. And they've been back.
What if you can't grow one?
Then you're good.
You got to pick something else
up. You never know what you would have looked like.
Yeah. You're always living on potential, Alex. The what if factor.
There's always a what if chance that maybe I'll have a beard someday and it'll look good.
I feel like we're like 2.5 years away from Alex getting like testosterone replacement therapy and just getting absolutely jacked and then getting like facial hair.
Never take it, Alex. Never take it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what that does. It's not steroids.
Why would I do that?
Yeah, but if you take it, you can't stop because otherwise
would that benefit
dramatically change your body. You can't stop.
I don't want to look like that.
Absolutely jocked.
I don't even think I would look good with a beard anyways.
You don't know.
My hair's blonde.
Yeah, that would be weird if you had dark facial hair.
It just wouldn't work.
I'm not going to go there. No, the Hemsworth, like that type of blonde hair, they definitely have beards. But I feel like you don't see a lot of beards on blonde-haired guys.
Because it looks weird.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling, no beard.
You can have like the 5 o'clock action, but...
Jared Goff, no beard.
No, just not.
Interesting. Evan?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Let's see, Champions Classic, basketball, all week. Had 1 week of practice / tryouts, then boom, scrimmages. Then we have a game a week from Tuesday. It's a full swing of basketball. Enjoying it so far.
Coach question.
Yep.
Coach Camus. You coach a lot of sports.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to ask me which one's my favorite.
No.
Okay, thank God.
That is what that sounded like, though. That is. I can't. They're like my children. I can't pick them. Like, I, at least for me, I don't know. It's probably like riding a bike for you at this point. But like when you're deep in the football season and you have like 1 week, less than a week to you switch to basketball, is it like kind of an adjustment period where like the terminology and like getting the swing of like, oh, yeah, I got to stop thinking about cover 2 defense. I got to start thinking about pick and rolls and 2-3 zones and stuff.
See, most previous football seasons, it was we were getting our ass kicked every week. So I was like, yeah, I'm ready to be done. This year, middle school season, I wish we could have kept on going because I enjoyed like both grades, enjoyed the kids. But I have like a week and a half, 2 weeks transition, and then get back into it. It's the only difficult thing is with basketball. It's you never know what your practice schedule is going to be. So I think that's the biggest adjustment. It's like my schedule's so hit or miss all the time. Where like football and baseball, you're after school till 5 o'clock, 5:30 every single time. Or basketball, we could be 6 a.m. before school, or we could be 7 to 9 p.m.
6 a.m. just sounds so bad.
Yeah. So
bad.
But as right now, I'm not complaining too much. And our schedule is getting a little messed up right now because the volleyball girls right now are kicking ass. They're in the quarterfinals. Saw them dominate on Thursday. Have you ever been in Ann Arbor, Gabriel Richard's gym?
Yeah, that's where the girls when we were
St. Mary's Catholic Central.
Are you
Ann Arbor,
sure?
Gabriel Richard.
Gabriel Richard. I could have swore that's where the girls played when we were freshmen and they went to the state champion.
Volleyball girls played there?
Yeah.
They played in Battle Creek.
Well, that was Kellogg when they made semifinals and finals. They played at Eastern Michigan one game, and they also played at.
Was it too close to? It was more by Brooklyn, maybe, that they played in a gym. They played in a small ass gym in the regional final, I think.
Columbia Central.
It was out that way. I don't know.
I'll try to find it.
Let me get my Google. What group? That was probably 2011. Then it was Columbia. It was at Columbia Central against Jackson Lumen Christi. Nice.
Oh, that was before they upgraded their gym. They probably had the brown wooden bleachers.
They did.
Yep, I see the background photo right here.
That gym. Pop it up, Grant. Can you share the screen?
Yep. I mean, it's not. You don't see a lot of it.
That's okay.
It's more just them celebrating with the trophy. You can see the background here.
Oh, yeah.
But those are wooden bleachers back there.
Okay, everyone knows what the middle school gym looks like. The middle school gym was like 2 times bigger than the gym that they just played at, Ann Arbor, Gabriel Richard.
Our middle school gym?
Yes, it's bigger than their gym. I know it's a small school. Not many people go to it. But the gym was tiny.
Probably hot in there. Sweaty.
It was pretty warm in there.
Will Disley. Sorry.
So they played Thursday. Friday. I don't think I really did much Friday. Saturday went hunting. Didn't shoot anything. My father killed something on opening day on Friday.
Ryan got a 10-point.
Ryan got shot at 10-point Friday morning.
Not with his car.
Not with his car. He shot it. He said he was sitting down. It was basically, boom, first light, first time you could shoot, boom, shot a deer. He was in his tree stand no more than an hour.
Efficient. Well done.
What made me mad is like, I should have done, that could have been me. Could have been me. All I had to do was take off work.
On that note, Evan, my dad saw 18 deer.
At Lou's?
Yeah.
And, I fully plan on shooting something at Lou's. I'm going to shoot something in the face.
Hell yeah.
You shot a buck.
Oh, it's not the kill zone? That's not the kill zone.
It's not the kill zone, but I always just like saying shoot something in the face. Then I always use my deer call that Alex has perfected. If you use this call, Grant, a deer will run right to you.
Is this the joke where did you say something inappropriate or is this actual?
Alex, you know the deer call.
Oh, let's hear it.
Come here, deer.
Yeah, this is it. Yep. Those get me every time on TikTok.
Deer.
Come here, deer. They run right to you.
Always works.
I saw 5 deer this weekend just walking.
Ooh. I saw 8, 9 when I was sitting Saturday morning.
Shoot them?
Just nothing.
They were all does, couple babies.
And then today had basketball scrimmages. They went well. So
wish you could have counted them for regular season wins.
Wish we could have.
3-0.
Overall, Grant?
What'd you do? Did you go to Catholic Central Belleville?
How was your gritty performance this past weekend?
How was beat-ups?
Oh, we will. Sure. Let me start first. I started getting sick a little bit around Wednesday this week.
Uh-oh.
Woke up. Going to bed, throat was a little scratchy. Never good. Like 9:30 p.m. I'm like, ooh, that feels kind of weird. Went to bed, woke up, didn't feel better. I think I made the fatal mistake. At the end of the workday, usually like in the middle of the day, like the sickness kind of goes away a little bit. Like I felt good energy. I was like, I plan to go to the gym. So I went to the gym and I think working out set me back in my recovery. I think that was a little much for the body to handle. So then I felt worse Thursday and Friday. And then my sore throat just moved into like a sinus infection.
Oh.
With my nose and everything. Not an infection really, but just like nose stuff up. You can still kind of hear it now. But I think I'm almost done. Basically laid low. Didn't go to any high school games Friday because it's probably a bad idea to just sit in the freezing cold and watch. So I watched on the streaming service that MHSAA has. I was bopping around. Rochester Adams in the semifinals on Saturday. They won. Wagon.
They're in the quarterfinals.
Well, doesn't it go from... No, it goes from regional to semi, right?
There's quarterfinals.
Is there quarterfinals?
Yeah, the finals are on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Semifinals.
Semifinals?
Yeah, I think the quarterfinal is the
regional final.
Yeah, that's the only sport that I can think of that's truly like that. But I think that's how it works. Because they play Saturday now, which is a semifinal game at 1 p.m. I forget where, but they won.
It's a neutral site.
Yeah, I was looking at the neutral sites where they were picked. Chelsea's a neutral site. They're hosting somebody. I don't know who though. So watch that on Friday, and then Saturday. Marissa had some friends over, more of a girls' night, which I could have stayed in the bedroom the whole night. I just didn't really want to sit there the entire time, so I went to B-Dubs around 6 o'clock. Stayed there until about 7:45, 8 o'clock. Put in a nice shift at B-Dubs. B-Dubs has really fallen off, at least the one near me. I don't...
What
clientele
do you mean?
there. The clientele felt like I was in a Walmart, for like lack of a better term.
Classy people.
Yeah, it just felt weird.
Well, they have the discount going on right now. Granted, everybody's bomb rushing it.
The pick six, is that what it is?
Pick six. Tried to get the 2 for $20, basically, is what it is.
She tried to get me to order that, and I probably should have because it was cheaper, but it would have felt like so much food at a table by myself that I ultimately was like, I would make myself sick if I tried to eat all that. I'll get into the details. So I think all B-Dubs are set up kind of the same. They have like booths all along one side, the middle tables, and then booths on the other side.
Just about.
Yeah. I walk in, I'm hoping, if they put me in a booth, I know they probably won't.
Request
but like, I'll just be. Well, they wouldn't have given it to me because a couple came in after me after I already got bullied, and they were like, "Can we have a booth?" And the guy said, "No." Just looked at him and said, "No." Just no.
No, you can't.
So he sat me in one of the middle tables all by myself, and I was just surrounded by people in the booth. I was the only person sitting in like the chairs, and I just felt like everyone was exactly like that.
By yourself?
Yep. Which was fine. I watched a guy. There was a family to my left. A dad. He sneezed, and I looked over.
Bless you.
It was loud. No, bless you for this guy. The snot was dangling down to like his jeans.
Dude.
out of his nose. And then his wife and son were roasting him, and he had to like cover it up and act fast. I was like, I can't believe I just saw that. And then there was kids everywhere. They were all just coughing out loud, hacking up lungs without covering their mouth. So that was disgusting.
You went to the most disgusting place on earth.
Yeah, it sounds like you just went to a bad B-Dubs.
And then there was another family with little kids, and they were just playing Baby Shark out loud, pretty loudly, for like a good 15 to 20 minutes. And then there was a table to my left as well of 3 guys, and one of the guys was playing like a Dr. Phil clip, also out loud, no headphones on, like for 20 minutes. Like Dr. Phil giving someone advice, just out loud. Everyone could hear word for word what the person was saying.
Damn.
So that was B-Dubs. It was not memorable. It was memorable in all the wrong ways. Just a wild amount of stories in like an hour and a half. And then really didn't do much. Made some chicken noodle soup today, homemade. It was pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
Good.
I made soup this week. Homemade.
What kind of soup?
I made chicken tortilla soup.
Oh, a little spicy.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
I went to a beer garden on Friday. I forgot to mention that.
How was it?
I think we got to get you guys on. Doesn't have to be Love is Blind, but I think for podcast content, it'd be good to get you guys on one of the Netflix like dating shows that are out there.
Work for that long?
I was thinking I would love to see you guys on Love is Blind.
You sign me up, man. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you put an audition tape in for us and we get on, fine. We'll do it.
I don't know when they're coming to. They do it by city, so I gotta see if they're coming to Houston or Detroit.
They did. What's the other popular one?
Dating Naked.
Love Island.
Is there another one after? Is Love Island? I thought Love Island was only at islands.
It might be too hot to handle.
I think there was a Love is Blind in Houston.
Probably. They've done 7 seasons.
Like
I'm sure
last
they've hit Houston.
Was in Houston.
Actually, it might have been.
Because
wild, dude.
There's one show they were like filming, like this dude running where I run, and like it was like he's at home. Maybe he was like.
Do you want my sales? Have you guys ever seen Love is Blind?
I watched like the very first season on Netflix. It's I know for a fact I would not do well on it because I would just get pissed at people talking about themselves.
Oh, that's nice. That's really welcoming.
Being honest, I want
to give Evan the concept. Just
I would think they're full of shit.
I would never have watched it if it wasn't for Marissa, but I'm at least this season I'm kind of hooked on it. I hate to admit it. There's been some crazy stuff. Not crazy. Not
well,
that
the one girl catfished a couple seasons ago, right? And then it's like, oh, I look like Who'd she say
Megan Fox.
Like? Yeah.
She looked like Megan Fox.
She didn't look anything like that. I'd be so mad when I saw her.
So, Evan, what you do basically is there's like 14 guys, 14 girls. We can all do this and people will laugh at this, but there's 14 guys, 14 girls. You all see each other. Like you hang with the boys, they hang with the girls. Every day you go on dates in these like little pods.
Only see the boys. You don't see the girls.
Yeah, you only see the boys. Like so you see the 13 guys. There's 14 girls across this hallway that you never see. But you go in these pods and they're separated by a wall, so you cannot see the other person whatsoever. You can talk to them. You hear their voice.
What's the name of this thing called?
Love is Blind. So you can like set up dates. Like you can put flowers or like board games in the room and you talk and get to know each other, but you can never ever see each other. And you basically have to decide if you want to get engaged to this person within like 2 weeks of being on the show. They have to get engaged on the show to get out of it, or you're just off the show. So then you propose through the wall essentially, and then if you're good, like everyone agrees, then they have these. You dress up, so like suit whatever they get on the dress. You're staying at the end of a hallway. They lift up these doors, and you see each other for the first time, and it can be so awkward sometimes if they just like aren't attracted to each other.
Yeah, because that's half the battle. That's why it doesn't work.
And then you have like 3 weeks. They take you on a honeymoon in Mexico or wherever they go. And then you have like 2 weeks after that to get married. Like you have to go to the altar and get married. Or if not, you have to give back like the $50K they gave you, etc. for the show. It's nuts.
Not doing it. Sorry. Do not sign me up for it.
There was this one guy named Steven. He got engaged to a girl, I think her name was Monica, and they went to the honeymoon. He was a weirdo though. He was like a big baby. Like he just moved like a baby, talked like a baby, weird guy. And he kept dropping these hints about like wanting to get freaky with her and like weird sexual shit. It just cut at the end of one of the last episodes and she found his phone and he was sexting another girl like a week before their wedding, telling this girl like, "You're the only one that's ever been to match my kinkiness, blah, blah, blah." And so they had to break it off, and it was so uncomfortable.
Just don't like normal people on those shows that just don't go well because they're normal.
Correct.
It's not entertaining.
There's like one remotely normal couple.
Like how are Evan and I going to go on there and be entertaining unless we put on a big bit like the whole time?
I think that would be fun to see one of you guys.
Can you put us on a more normal show that we can see the people on?
Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid, baby.
Survivor.
Oh. I can't wait to get that.
That is a show that I think we would do our best on. Don't put me on that show. Put me on Squid Games.
I would love to see your dad. You bring the girl, you have to meet the parents. 2 weeks, you're getting married. G meets her for the first time, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know who you are really, but I guess my son loves you."
He'd be okay with it.
Your mom would be great. She would welcome her instantly.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh my god." Then they'd show them.
I can tell by the way he looks at you
and drinking. He's in love. They're just sipping their wine in the backyard in the Gillen household.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was one match.
Dude. Right.
Pookies and Dookies of the week. A better week of football, I would say, than last week. At least in my opinion. The night slate I thought was pretty good entertainment for college football. Would anyone like to start us with anything that stood out to them, good or bad, this week? My voice cracked.
I didn't watch very much football Saturday.
Pookie, Will Howard does it again. Just flawless, easy effort out of him and the Ohio State offense. Just so entertaining to watch.
Northwestern.
Pookie, Wrigley Field.
Pookie, Wrigley Field, hosting football games.
Drone shots of Wrigley Field, specifically. Awesome. Although that one Carnell Tate touchdown, you couldn't see if he caught it or not because the crowd stood up. That was a tough camera angle.
I can live with it. It's like hockey games at the Joe Louis Arena.
Pookie to even Evan out. Kenny Dillingham picked to finish the last in his conference. I think they're 8-2 now. Knocked off Kansas State, eliminated Kansas State officially from any contention, really. That was
one of my Dookies is Kansas State.
Future Michigan coach, Kenny Dillingham. I don't know.
Whoa.
He's got my attention.
Too young.
Add him to the list. Young.
Sharon Moore's like 36.
Yeah, that's working.
At least this guy has coaching experience.
Correct. And he can bring his quarterback, Sam Levitt.
Pookie. Travis Hunter.
Yes, that was Pookie from me. Good game.
Good football player. Should win the Heisman.
No.
Yeah, he's minus 330 now. He will win the Heisman.
That's disgusting.
Barring unforeseen
Disgusting,
circumstances.
Evan. He's the best player in college football.
Second best.
Will Howard is not
still?
the best college football
Alex,
player.
if you think I was going to say Will Howard, you don't know me.
Are you still saying
Avery
Dylan Gabriel?
Johnson?
Is that still your guy?
No.
Genty?
Yes.
Oh.
He's got a good offensive line.
Travis
He's
Hunter is a
just
good quarterback
JJ.
throwing him the ball.
Genty's cool. If Genty played linebacker, yes.
Yeah, Travis Hunter has multiple picks. Come on.
Pookie, my true
Yeah.
favorite quarterback.
Thorne. Are you serious?
Balled
Oh
out.
my God. We wrote them
Against,
off 5 weeks ago,
I
Evan.
don't care about writing him off. He still played a flawless game in the first half.
He wrote back.
Against who?
Correct.
Against
but
who,
still,
Evan?
Peyton Thorne balled out. I don't care. It's still opponent. You play who's
I
on
just
your
want to know who it
schedule.
was. I don't
You
remember
play
who
who
it
was
was.
on your schedule, Alex.
I know who it was because I bet against Auburn like a dumb idiot. I was like, there's no way this team could beat anyone by 24 points.
That's what you
It
get.
was Louisiana Monroe.
Hmm.
Pookie really Cam Coleman. He had a sick one-handed grab and had 3 touchdowns.
Why are we talking about that game so much?
'Cause
Two
Peyton Thorne
Pookies
balled
from
out.
that football game?
Correct. Is he eligible next year to transfer anywhere, or is he done?
Thorne?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Gotta
know.
be
You
done.
get 7 years. Somebody just apply for a 7th year.
He's going to be a great CFL quarterback.
Might be.
Like the Argonauts or something? Yeah. He's in the Toronto
You know the
Argonauts.
Canadian
future
Football League is
quarterback.
50% Canadian.
No, until you just said it.
Well, Jeremiah
sense, though.
Masoli's not Canadian, so he can play there.
Who's that?
He's Oregon's old.
He plays still.
Yeah, I think so. Okay,
Starts.
Grant, do you remember the Ohio State-Oregon Rose Bowl when Terrell Pryor was playing?
Vaguely.
Okay, so the
Well,
Oregon
Jeremiah
quarterback during that was
Masoli.
Jeremiah Masoli.
Hmm.
The quarterback after Dennis Dixon and before Marcus Mariota.
Dennis Dixon is one of my favorite players of all time. Sucks he got hurt that one year. Like week 8 or something. Dookie. Tough Dookie. Like a constipation Dookie. The College Football Playoff Committee. Because now they have like 7 2-loss SEC teams. And I'm not sure what their plan is for that.
Put them all in.
Put them all. They might. Ward Manuel
Dude.
might.
The committee's gonna hate this if like somebody gets upset in like the conference tournament or their conference championship.
It's going to be interesting, that whole dynamic that we've kind of avoided for the last 10 years of like you're getting penalized for making it to your conference title game and losing when someone else gets to sit at home and just reaping the benefit of not adding a loss to their
Right.
win-loss column.
Like if SMU doesn't win, I guess they
Oh,
get
they
to play.
can't wait.
They get to play Miami, probably most likely, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Clemson's still alive, though. I don't know what has to happen for them, but they stayed alive with their win over Pittsburgh. Pat Narduzzi.
Miami
Pat
probably
Narduzzi
has.
always makes me laugh.
Miami probably has
That
to lose
text
once.
always makes me laugh. Yeah,
Big 12, snooze fest.
Oh, dude, Colorado.
Colorado.
Colorado ain't winning a playoff game.
No, we didn't say that, but
They
they
can
can
beat
make it,
Indiana.
which would be crazy if they made it.
Well,
To the
Alex, if they
playoff.
win, they get to be probably
Oh, yeah, they'll just be right into
4
the
seed.
top 4. Holy shit.
If they're above whoever the other G5,
Holy
yeah.
shit. Colorado. in the
Tulane's coming,
semifinal.
though. Tulane is not messing around. They just beat Navy 35-0.
yeah, because
Is
Tulane
Willie
held.
Fritz the coach there?
No,
Still?
Willie Fritz left for.
Who's the head coach of Tulane? Why is that program so good? Oh, Louisiana. That's why. The
New
state of
Orleans.
Louisiana. John Summerall is Tulane's 42nd head coach.
Where did Willie Fritz go? He did
I
a
don't
lateral
know.
move. He didn't do like a
Liberty?
Houston.
Houston
That's up.
lateral.
Big
Ish.
12.
Don't talk about Alex's talent like that.
They stink.
Um,
Malik Carr's there.
Basically,
Pookie.
go ahead,
Sorry,
Grant, go ahead. I was going to say Dookies. I was going to bring everybody down.
Quick Pookie on the same point that SEC Georgia. Again, they just back against the wall. They won't die. This Tennessee beats them. They go up
This-
early.
Dead
They
may never
die.
die.
They can't die. Kirby Smart. He might be my favorite post game coach to listen to. He gets on these rants. he basically told Ward Manuel, I dare you to come down here and watch road games in this league and then tell me how you can leave these teams out. He said the whole committee, but I just like to think it was directly at Ward Manuel. He didn't make sense. He basically said, I'd like to see any committee member come down here and coach on the road in this league. Like, well, committee members aren't coaching, but they're all ADs, so they got his point. But I just love when Kirby's in that mode. So Pookie to Georgia, they won't go away. And Dookie, the rest of us fans, because they're just going to be a problem until someone kills them.
I had Dookies is basically all the ranked teams losing. BYU, LSU, Louisville.
LSU's a joke.
LSU, I think,
LSU's
is the
just
top
funny.
of that.
Just funny. Now that every time LSU loses, I just think about that drunk 20 college-year-old guy that was in front of me the entire time. I mean, I wonder what he's doing right now. But Louisville was a bad loss. They were like 20-some point favorites on the road.
Stanford, yeah, that was nuts. Brom's a big game coach. He's got to work on the little games. He's a big game killer.
What can we give credit to Notre Dame for destroying every team they play?
It's a good question.
If you give credit to Notre Dame, then you have to give credit to Indiana.
I do, but they barely beat Michigan.
Well, Michigan is loaded. If Notre Dame
still has the worst loss out of all the top 10 teams.
They do, but they're still one of the better teams in the country, I think.
They're still going to lose their first playoff game, so it doesn't really matter.
They're killing bad teams, so I guess I reward that, but I don't. Let's just say this. If they play Tennessee, which I think was the matchup projected last week, I'm taking Tennessee by a touchdown. They're not beating that team.
They have a road win against one of those A&M. Top 15 2-loss SEC teams that we're all talking about.
First game of the year. Not with Marcel
rowdy
Reed.
Environment.
Sure.
They still won.
Yeah,
you have to give them credit.
I do. It's going to get them in the playoff. I just don't. No.
You think
I'll be wrong about
better?
them. No, in my heart of hearts, like where I don't let my brain go, I think Notre Dame is a better football team than Indiana and would beat them. Yes.
Okay, good.
Cut that.
An agreement then.
Cut that. But in rankings wise,
let's do
Indiana ahead of them. Well, I got a couple more. We can't
fire
just
through your 15 other ones. Come on.
Well, BYU, LSU. I got NFL now. Well, LSU real quick, like 0% chance they fire Brian Kelly.
It's not 0.
Can we do it before early signing day?
They fired Ed Ogeron after he won a national title, like a year
and
a half
after. He was doing
after.
Stuff off the field that was
I know, but that recruiting class is holding Brian Kelly in. We need...
But Brian Kelly brought in a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and they've gotten worse.
Question for the public.
They also did have the Heisman Trophy winners.
Maybe I'll post this as a clip. It'll make me get back to cutting clips consistently. Question for LSU fans. If someone find them on their fan base on Twitter, would they make a deal with me, Michigan fan? We get Bryce Underwood. You fire Brian Kelly. Like, would they accept that deal? You lose the number one player in the country, but you get rid of the coach that you want gone so bad.
Are you dumb? That's the dumbest question I've ever heard.
Is it? They hate
the number one player in the country and number one quarterback can change the entire direction of a program.
But what if
the most important position in college football?
You don't think deep down they're thinking that even if Bryce Underwood comes here, they're still losing 3 games every year because Brian Kelly just can't get it done?
Well, yeah, I think they think that, but
I think they would like to
be nice to have the number one quarterback.
I think you don't have another quarterback ready to go.
I think I agree with you guys' mindset, but they also just watched Jaden Daniels. Like they're not immune to having amazing quarterback play, and they saw what it got them, nothing. So I don't know. I think they would think about it. Sure. I think they would think about it.
Maybe. You'd have to tell them who they're getting. Who are they getting?
Who's taking? All right, let's think about it. Let's thought exercise. Who is taking that job? They poached Brian Kelly last time, so people are available. Nobody saw it coming.
Somebody you don't see leaving.
No, they won't take
James Franklin.
No, Dan Lanning wouldn't leave. Mike Vrabel.
No.
I don't know.
Vrabel's about to get an NFL coaching job.
They're not. Yeah, Vrabel's not doing that.
John Gruden.
Are there no Sark wouldn't leave. I don't think they like Lane Kiffin very much at all.
If I'm like Kiffin, I'm not leaving.
I would leave Ole Miss for LSU.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lane Kiffin, James Franklin.
Are there just not Are we losing the top tier? Would it have to be an outside
LSU
guy?
can poach whoever they want. So you just got to think of people that are at top programs that think, all right, but if I go here, I can win a national championship. James Franklin.
All right, the question would be, would you trade Bryce Underwood for Dan Lanning or Steve Sarkisian?
Dan Lanning, yes.
Steve Sarkisian ain't leaving. He's at 1A.
I know that, but I'm just saying I have to find a name.
I think Dan Lanning could leave.
Enough.
And he would be enticing enough.
He's going to do that to his family again.
Dan Lanning?
Yeah. I think they
I mean, every coach does that, Evan.
Because he was making like no money. He was like bottom barrel, which a lot of coaches are in college football to get up there. But
I don't know why people can't stay at Oregon. I don't know what's wrong with them.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
That's not close to Nike headquarters, not in the middle of nowhere.
I think people don't like being in that part of the country.
Fine, I'll take the job.
All right. Would you trade Dan Lanning for Bryce Underwood? That's the deal.
Well, yeah, because Bryce Underwood's never played a snap in college football.
All right, sweet.
But
that's negotiation.
Bryce Underwood doesn't want to go to Michigan anyways.
I'm not saying he does. I've never once
said that he brought
does.
him up 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, because it's being talked about a lot.
It's never even been a realistic possibility. Just because he had those 20 Michigan fans go to his football game didn't mean he was ever considering it.
I don't think saying it's not a realistic possibility is...
It's not.
Neither was Urban Meyer then.
Sure, because it didn't happen, so it wasn't.
Yeah, I'm saying it's easy to say in hindsight, but it's clear there's been like communication between the two camps about negotiations of deals and stuff. That doesn't just like happen out of nowhere.
Yeah, you use it for your current school that you want to go to give you more money.
It's which you might be doing. Might be definitely. I don't know. I don't know.
You still think there's a chance
offering.
He goes to Michigan?
Oh, I would only remotely believe it if Sloan, LSU's offensive coordinator, is heavily rumored to take the East Carolina head coaching job. If he did that, I would think there's a chance.
You think Michigan's running number 2 in this?
What do you mean?
You don't think all the other schools, once they know that he decommits from LSU, are going to go all in for him?
I think they would. I do think. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I should have assumed
Michigan
would be number 2.
He wants to play in the SEC. He doesn't want to play in his hometown state. He's like said that publicly. Just I don't want you to keep beating yourself up over it because it's just not going to happen.
He would be Alabama's starting quarterback as soon as Jalen Milroe leaves.
I haven't got my hopes up for it at all. I don't remotely think he's going to Michigan. I do think the amount of coverage it's gotten and like national people saying they've discussed it means it's like not a 0% chance if someone got fired at LSU or left.
You should see his TikToks and his Instagram stories.
But I don't think
that. Bryce Underwood wants to go to Michigan to hand the ball off and throw a little 5-yard crosser routes. Exciting for him.
Alex, they wouldn't do that.
Well, with your current staff, I wouldn't know. With your old staff, no, they wouldn't do that.
The current staff the staff that would have him wouldn't be the same. The one that's currently there.
Yeah, if they have him, I would expect them to ruin him.
Well, JJ turned out fine, so I don't necessarily agree with that.
QB whisperer, Jim Harbaugh.
NFL, Pookies and Dookies.
Taysom Hill, Pookie.
Yeah, for you, I guess.
Brock Bowers.
Sure.
No,
Pookie.
He's just a good football player, Grant.
He's not, though.
Yes, he is. He's a good football player. That's a fact.
He's a good all-around player.
He's a definition of a football player.
Yeah, he's a
Did you see his stat line, Grant?
He played the Browns.
7 carries, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns, 8 catches, 50 yards.
Come on. He does this once a season.
Come on.
And he gets paid like $20 million a year to do it.
Yeah, he's good.
It's great when you start him, and it's awful when he gets 0.7 points the next week. Yes.
He actually averages this year. His worst game, he got injured. He had 3 points, so he's been very good. He's a star.
The real Pookie is Bo Nix.
Oh, I like Bo.
That kid took a lot of crap. I'm not saying I like him or dislike him. I'm just saying he's catching my eye. He's put me on notice. I am noticing Bo Nix play football on Sundays. I thought, Kirk versus Bo Nix. That's an interesting game between two teams that have positive records. And I look up and the Broncos are up 38-6, and he's slinging it all around the yard to low Jordan Humphrey for touchdowns. I'm like, wow, this Bo Nix kid is got a lot of shit.
Kid, he's our age.
He's a kid. We're kids. a lot of shit, and good player. So good for him. Other Pookies, Seahawks and Bills. I noticed their wins. Seahawks, Geno had a very nice game-winning touchdown, and the Bills didn't get the monkey off their back because they still have to beat them in the playoffs. But always good to build confidence in the regular season in that showdown. And the Bills fans wanted that. You could tell by their passion in that game. I have one Dookie.
Oh, what are you waiting for?
Bears fans. Not the Bears themselves because they're not
Big
really
Cat.
playing for much, but I feel bad for Eddie. I feel bad for Big Cat. I feel bad for the Chicago fans. They were sucked back in. They just had to make like a 40-yard field goal.
They missed a game-winning field goal.
Got blocked.
And reports after the game are worse. Packers fans saying they know that kicker, I think it was Cairo Santos. They know he likes to kick like line drives, and they were kind of confused why the Bears weren't trying to get a couple more yards there with like 40 seconds to go. Because again, bad management by the Bears. If they get that kick like into the 30-yard range, they probably make it. It doesn't get blocked, but got blocked by a fingernail. It was 20-19, Evan. Would have either won or lost the game. Walk off for the Bears. Would have helped us, the Lions, not to be selfish about it, but they lose again because of the Bears. And I feel bad for their fans because they looked a lot better today. Their offense was humming. Caleb Williams was actually playing good football, getting rid of the ball, running, scrambling. Defense made some plays. DeAndre Swift looked 2 years younger, and they still lost to the Packers.
No, it didn't hurt. Yeah, DJ Moore looked good.
Yeah, so I don't know. If you're a Bears fan, I don't know what you have hope in right now. I do feel bad for them. That's it. Rankings? Alex, I want you to go first.
1 to 10 or 10 to 1?
I want you 10 to 1, Alex. This is show business. You're not going to
SMU,
spoil.
number 10.
Oh, biased. Texas biased.
Number 9. Just so you know, I did these rankings based on who I thought would win. On a neutral was half of my criteria, and my other half was who has a better win so far. Okay, so SMU, 10. They just get to be 10. 9, Indiana. 8, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss 8. That's low.
I think Ole Miss would beat Indiana on a neutral. Handle.
Yeah, I think so.
7, Notre Dame. Controversy? No. This is where it gets controversial.
Yeah, I wouldn't have them that high, but again, I'm not nitpicking.
Next one is the controversial. Texas, 6. Whoa. Who have they beaten, Evan? Who have they beaten? No one. 5. Well,
they lose to?
Georgia. 5, Penn State.
Who have they beaten?
God.
There it is.
You're an asshat.
Yeah,
You're
you do
freaking
suck right
clown.
now.
Texas won Penn State.
I don't know. 4, Georgia. 3, Alabama, because they beat Georgia. It's pretty simple. 2, Ohio State. 1, Oregon. Oregon beat Ohio State.
So you have Oregon, Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, Penn State, Texas, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Indiana, SMU. Sounds like you let Tennessee free fall.
They're 11.
No love for Miami, Florida.
No, I think they're bad.
Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely some disagreements, which we'll get to when we reveal them all. But Evan, me or you?
I'll go.
All right.
Number 10. One of the only 2 undefeated teams remaining. Army. Number 9, Boise State. Number 8, Indiana. Number 7, Notre Dame.
Wow.
Same spot as me.
Yep. 6, Ole Miss. 5, Bama. 4,
Penn State's not in his top.
Georgia. 3, Texas. 2, Ohio State. 1, Oregon.
OSU.
Never have, Alex. Never
been
will
in your
be.
top 10 the whole year.
So Oregon, OSU, Texas, Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss,
You have
Notre Dame,
Texas
Indiana,
above
Boise State,
Georgia,
Army.
even though Georgia.
Yep. You have 1
What's
loss.
the logic behind that?
Tennessee falls out as well.
You
The
have 1
amount
loss.
of losses.
1 loss. 2.
Tennessee
You have 2
falls
losses.
out.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting.
All right. 10, Miami, Florida.
Gross. You know you hate
I still
that.
think I think they beat SMU and Army. If I'm
Well, they would be this. Yes,
mine might be chalk. I went with honestly I kept some of the stuff if it's close with head to head of like who should be above who based on merit, but I kind of just was like, I'm gonna be honest. It's week 12 now. I've seen a lot of these teams play. Who's actually good and would beat other teams? 9 Notre Dame, close though. I'll say if there's any gaps. 8 Indiana.
Disagree.
That's tight. 7. You guys threw them off. Yeah, part of it's like though what you've proven. You know, I'm going to give Indiana the benefit of the doubt with a 0.1 gap above Notre Dame. 7, Tennessee.
Who's Tennessee beat?
Alabama.
Bama.
Bama's got Tennessee, 2 bad losses.
And I think Tennessee, honestly, they actually impressed me in a loss at Georgia. They're a physical team. They have a good offensive line. Again, I keep waiting for their offense to click. It really hasn't. Their defense is solid. That game just kind of got away late. I think there's a pretty good gap between Tennessee, Indiana, Notre Dame, and Miami, Florida. So I think there's a gap there where when I get into 7, that means like we're getting better. 6, Georgia. 5, Ole Miss. 4, Alabama. 3, Ohio State. 2, Texas. 1, Oregon. No Penn State for me either. I'm with Evan.
Yes! Grant.
I truly don't believe Penn State should be favored against any of the top 10 teams I listed.
Amen. Their defense can keep them in any game, though. They're legit.
Grant, this is the first week
it's James Franklin.
I felt bad for Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson.
Did they do Penn State Purdue?
Yes.
Ew, dude.
All right, better question.
Yeah, let's discuss.
Well, yeah, I don't.
Before the committee
I disagree with Grant's rankings for the most part. Why is Texas 2? Did you have Texas 2?
I have Texas 2. I have Texas 2.
Give me 2, Alex.
Give me reasons. Their best win is Vanderbilt on the road, I guess.
If Vanderbilt beat Alabama, you have Alabama above Texas, and Texas beat them. So
because Alabama destroyed LSU and they beat Georgia.
I think Texas would destroy LSU.
No, they don't play. Maybe. Yeah, LSU stinks. But
Texas is a...
See, the LSU win's not that good of a win from Alabama.
Well, the way they did it in Death Valley at night when we watched Ole Miss, who's in the top 10, go there and lose.
One play away from winning that game, Alex.
I know, but Alabama didn't leave it up to fate.
Correct.
I can't justify Texas other than just eye test. They're an eye test play right now.
Yeah, they've done nothing impressive.
I think they're that talented of a team. I think they have a top 4 talented team in the entire country. I think they have a top 4 or 5 coach in the entire country, and I'm just banking on that to come to fruition.
So we're all just banking on Texas to be good, but they probably don't deserve to be that spot in the ranking yet. And they're not going to. They're not going to have a quality. They're going to beat A&M on the road, and that'll be their biggest win. They could lose that and miss the playoff altogether.
That's a massive win, though.
My biggest thing is like if I'm Texas and you're in the SEC championship, is it even worth playing?
Interesting. You'd quit. You'd forfeit.
Because you're going to be in the playoff no matter what.
You win the SEC championship, Evan, and then you're a top 4 seed and you have a bye.
I get that. But is it
so, yes,
like you're automatically in it, though? Texas is automatically in it if they're in the SEC championship.
Yeah,
they don't
when
have
you
want to
buy. There's no logical reason to not want to win the SEC if you're in the title game.
I get that, but risk of injury. Best player goes down.
This is football.
It's a meaningless football. It's a meaningless football game. I get the whole
It's for a top 4 seed.
That's true.
But you're
it
also
is for a bye.
Okay, but I don't see how the
you play less games, you have less chance of getting injured.
Yeah, but the playoff would be different when you get injured there. The conference championship is a meaningless game for most teams.
I think winning your conference still holds merit in programs.
It definitely does.
Imagine you don't win the SEC, you lose in the playoff, then at the end of the year, you have nothing. You didn't win anything.
I think Evan's mindset is probably how a lot of fans view it, and I do think it's fair. Like, if you're really just hunting a championship, you could get cute and be like, oh, we'd rather be the 5 seed and host it and play like the 12 seed and then the worst of the 4 byes.
I think Texas matches up with anybody on the team, on the field, so I don't see how the SEC championship hurts or benefits Texas. The only thing would be you get one less game.
Which is less wear and tear.
But the 7 through whatever, 6 through 12, Texas on paper would dominate all of them.
Dominate, because we've seen them beat no one. but we believe that for some reason.
I believe them.
They got dominated by Georgia.
But to the point of Evan, though, where like it will never happen is like I think teams in locker rooms like really care about the SEC title, especially that conference.
No,
like, that means a lot.
Too.
Yeah, I don't think there's
that's kind of like the
doing that.
Debate of like sometimes the grind of a Big Ten regular season basketball title. I know people only care about the tournament, but you can make an argument depending on your draw in the tournament that winning whatever game schedule it is in the Big Ten is more impressive than like beating an 11 seed and then beating a Cinderella to go to the Sweet 16. Like winning that Big Ten title throughout the gauntlet of the Big Ten schedule is more important or more impressive. So I do think SEC teams care, especially this year. Like the SEC has been a bloodbath of everyone knocking each other off.
Yeah, I think every team cares about winning their conference. And I think would want to. I don't think any team is sitting out.
It's the most evenly distributed conference. You're talking about how much depth they have, and then you're...
Yeah, win it.
Yeah, but then you're pissed off because Texas hasn't beaten anybody. But they're the one team in the top of the SEC with only one loss.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that. That doesn't take away from the fact they haven't beaten anyone. They had one big marquee game.
Yeah, but you're saying that they play in the best conference, so every single conference win should be all right.
I didn't say they were in the best conference. I never said the SEC was the best. Yes, they're the deepest.
It is, but relatively speaking, Texas has a very easy SEC schedule.
Yeah, they've
on paper. How it's unfolded, the teams that you thought may have been better, like Oklahoma, no, they're just not. Like
they avoided Bama.
And going back to the Michigan game, Texas has had a very easy schedule this year.
Avoided Tennessee
here today.
Play who's on their schedule.
Yeah,
I don't think Texas is going to apologize for having their schedule that they have.
They played one. They only played the one ranked SEC team, Georgia, and they lost.
Is it at Texas A&M or home?
It's at
Friday night.
That would be impressive. No, it's Saturday night.
You don't like Saturday night?
That game traditionally has been on Thanksgiving or Friday night of Thanksgiving week before they both joined the SEC.
It used to be on
they were in the Big 12.
Day.
I think so. I think it was on Thanksgiving Day.
It's on Thanksgiving
this
night
year, it's in a great spot, I think. It's the Saturday rivalry week night. Like, Iron Bowl's nothing this year.
Iron Bowl's nothing. The game is nothing this year.
The game's nothing.
Florida State, Florida. USC, Notre Dame, I think. Or UCLA. I don't know who plays.
ABC's putting that thing at night. They know how to do college football. That thing's not going anywhere else.
I don't think there's any good rivalry. Unless I'm missing something, but I'm with you, Grant. There's no good rivalry games this year.
If Texas walks in there and smacks them around, then I'll...
Which I feel like they will.
On paper.
Texas A&M has a quarterback issue.
Yeah.
I need to see. What do I need to see from Texas?
The same amount of talent on offense as Alabama.
Did Texas play South Carolina?
No.
They avoided them too? Unbelievable.
Correct.
They didn't avoid them. The SEC conference picked their schedule. Handpicked it.
I'm saying like they avoided as in when the schedule came out. It wasn't on there. It's just a word of it. It wasn't saying they ducked it.
Their SEC wins out loud in order are Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, and it will be Kentucky leading up to A&M.
Yeah.
I think those teams are like
the softest SEC schedule you could possibly get.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
It's not their fault, but it's true.
But if this was Michigan, Evan,
rank them
we'd be having a different conversation about Michigan.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
If you flip the logo, we'd be like, "Wow, play somebody."
Yes, Evan, it would be. I didn't
say they're about their conference schedule last year. Michigan's conference schedule. I was more about their non-conference schedule because you control your non-conference schedule. You don't control.
Texas also was not impressive Saturday against Arkansas either.
They won on the road in the SEC. Who really?
They didn't cover. They didn't cover, and I did.
They played at a 11 o'clock game, 10 o'clock their time game.
No, not 10 o'clock their time game.
13, 15, 16. Okay, there's 16 teams in the SEC.
Alex,
their wins are against the 16th team.
Is it Boston 2 hours behind, or are you an hour behind?
No, time zone. 1 hour.
Oh, they played 11 a.m. Who cares?
Yeah, that's normal here. Everyone plays at 11.
That's stupid.
Either way, I'm just saying.
It's not like they're his guys. He's gonna see them through the burnt orange wall.
It's not like they're smoking every team like some of these other teams.
Like who? Name the other teams that are smoking everybody else.
Notre Dame's killing every bad team they play. That's true.
Bama's peaking.
You're comparing Notre Dame's schedule to Texas's schedule.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
That's absurd. So the
Well,
bottom
Mississippi
teams in the
State lost
SEC.
to
So the
Toledo.
bottom teams in the SEC are just as good as the bottom teams in the ACC. That's who-
Mississippi State got smoked by Toledo.
Grant, can you find an SEC team that's 1-9 that Texas got to play at prime time at night? Find the 1-9 SEC team that Texas got to play at home.
Evan, some of these SEC teams are bad.
I have a strength of record. Oh, strength of schedule.
Find the 1-9 team.
Well, who's the 1-9 team you're talking about? Purdue?
Notre Dame played at home against Florida State 2 weeks ago.
And that's their fault? Florida State was supposed to be good.
Michigan was supposed to be good. How is that Texas's fault? How are you?
I'm not saying it's
You're
their
losing
fault,
this
but
argument right now.
No, because they're not blowing teams out. Why didn't they blow Arkansas out if they're so good?
Why did
Why
Tennessee
did they
lose
beat
to Arkansas?
Georgia at home?
Georgia's a good football team.
It's at home. It's your biggest game of the year. The one game you wanted to win, you lose.
Well, actually, according to you, the SEC championship, it's the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, if you get in it, you would want
And as
to win.
right now, they're going to be in that puppy. So
Well, unless they lose to A&M.
they're going to lose to A&M. Now they don't have a quarterback.
Earlier, you made a comment and said that Texas would dominate the teams 6 through 12. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I don't know about that, because how would I know when they haven't beat anyone of that quality this whole year? I haven't seen it. And the one team in that top 12 that they played, they got smoked at home. I think it's fair to have concerns about them.
I don't
Texas
think it is.
has a top 10 schedule rating, and Notre Dame's is 32. 22 spots between the two teams. Michigan's is 18th for reference.
Nice. Good for
Michigan
the
State's is
Wolves.
45th for reference.
Oh,
So,
Purdue's really bringing that
Yeah.
down. Not our fault.
not
Do you
your
think
fault.
Texas would beat Alabama?
I would love to see that game.
Well,
To
they
know.
did last year, so yes.
This is not the same season, Evan.
Good answer.
How many teams do you think can win the national championship?
Good question.
And name
1,
them.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I have 6.
I have 6.
Probably the same.
Ole Miss,
That's my
Bama,
tie.
Georgia,
6.
Texas, Ohio State, Oregon. Those are the 6.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I want to say Tennessee, but they haven't figured it out on offense.
So, Alex, the final 6 teams, you think Texas is the worst out of all of them?
Of those 6?
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah. No. Well, in my rankings, I have Ole Miss.
So, are you
technically below
mad?
Texas.
Are you mad that Oregon only won by 6 points on Saturday?
3.
They did not
3
look good.
points on Saturday?
Watch the whole game.
Did you
They did not
mark them
look good,
down?
but they have a marquee win against the number 2 team in the country. Well, meanwhile,
Okay.
Texas, big marquee game, they lost. Handily.
Can I say something?
Will they
Wasn't
move up in
close.
your rankings when they beat Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Will they move up in your rankings when they beat?
Kentucky? No.
I don't even know who's second in the SEC right now because
If
they're
they
all
beat Kentucky
tied.
by 85 points, maybe they can move up.
Can I say something I'm worried about?
Sure.
As a guy who last year we had 2 teams in our conference in the title game and we had a Big Ten champion. What if our conference is really bad this year? And what if Ohio State and Oregon just get dummied by SEC schools when it comes time?
Possible.
I
But
don't
I just think
it's
Ohio State and
possible.
Oregon have too much talent.
They do.
Like they have
do.
legit
Grant, I
talent.
know Penn State and Indiana will get dummied in the playoff by SEC competition. I know Ohio State
Yeah.
and Oregon will not.
Yeah, I
But
feel
neither-
very confident Indiana
The
will get
year
smoked
that
by these
Ohio,
SEC
the year that
teams.
Georgia, everyone was like, "Yeah, Georgia's winning the national championship." Ohio State was a shank field goal away from winning the national title. Like Ohio State's
Yeah,
cream
okay.
of the crop talent on their roster is superior.
Is that
to SEC value.
2022? That was 2022,
Oregon's
correct?
cream of the crop talent on their roster
But they
right
had
now.
CJ Stroud. They had CJ Stroud. That's my point.
Ohio State has better running backs this year than what they had. They still had Trayvon Henderson that year, but
I mean, Grant, the SEC
Counterpoint.
quarterbacks are not also lighting it up. Some of them are good, but not all.
Dylan Gabriel would
Carson
be like
Beck's
one of
been
the
poop.
Dylan Gabriel would be one of the best SEC quarterbacks, if not the best SEC quarterback.
Jalen
who's on
Milrow
the
can't
SEC.
throw, but he's obviously an elite runner.
Yeah, they all have flaws. Every team in college football
Every
does
team
have
has a
flaws.
flaw.
I watched every single throw of the Dylan Gabriel pretty much against Wisconsin, so I'm trying not to get that out of my brain, and I know he's still good. Although the pants he wears like tight biker shorts in football. Someone's got to look into that. He wears some weird ass
The issue with
pants.
Oregon is they get too pass happy and don't just run the ball when they get in the red zone, and then they complain about red zone turnovers.
That's my thing, though. I'm thinking of Ohio State or Oregon playing Georgia when Georgia's on defensively, and I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. And if they can't run the ball, I don't think Will Howard is pulling to CJ Stroud and lighting it up on the air, even though Jeremiah Smith is really good. And I just feel like they're going to get. I
Ohio
could see
State has
Ohio
enough
State
weapons
scoring like
to be in
13 points against Georgia and losing like 30-13.
I don't see that
That could
happening.
be freezing
Ohio
cold.
State has one of the best defensive players in the country.
Yeah, I know that, but
their defense
that's
is
one
no
guy.
joke. They can be very good.
That's the part that I'm struggling with. Is it?
Every time Ohio State does get in these big games,
You
though, they're
a
always
month off
almost
to
always
prepare
in it.
for the other team.
Wait, what did you say, Alex?
How many times has Ohio State been blown out by an SEC team?
Alabama, 2020 National Championship.
Yeah, Clemson. I know they're ACC, but like, no, to say Ohio State doesn't get blown out in these spots is wrong. Their fans would be the first to tell you they can get embarrassed. It's probably 50-50. They've been in the playoff,
won a national title.
Yep.
They beat someone.
Yeah, they got homered by the Clemson game. They also got blown out by Clemson, but they got homered by the fumble that was a fumble that didn't get called the fumble. Justin Fields throws an interception.
They lost to Georgia on the missed field goal.
Goal.
And then I guess they didn't make the last.
They didn't make it to the playoff last year.
The last one.
But they've had some bad losses.
I'm just not going to write them off. They have so much talent.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they don't always gel it together, but they certainly have just as much talent as all of these other SEC teams. That's why.
Oregon, same thing, has just as much talent as all the SEC teams.
Yeah, they do. Ohio State and Oregon both paid out the ass for defensive and offensive lines.
My only point is maybe it's a testament to our conference. I'm worried it's going to be such a culture shock or a shock to them playing style with like teams.
No, not with those two teams.
For the other two teams, Penn State and Indiana, yeah, they will be shell shocked.
We saw what does to Penn State.
Like Indiana walks in and plays Ole Miss, they would probably lose by like 3 touchdowns. I just don't see how they would compete.
But I don't know how it doesn't work the other way though, because like those teams have still gotten to play Ohio State and Oregon. I know they're. I'm saying I feel like Oregon and Ohio State are still just like, oh man, we're not playing Penn State or Indiana anymore.
Because they have dudes, like actual dudes that you get off the bus and you're like, holy shit, they've played in big games before. They are highly recruited kids. They're 6'7", 300 pounds. Indiana's kids don't look like that. Some of Penn State's do, but not enough. It's just different.
I know that. I know. I'm not arguing.
Those kids aren't going to be scared.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I know those.
I'm saying Ohio State, financial Oregon
money.
Kids, some of these are SEC transfers too. I mean, Judkins, Ole Miss, Downs,
yeah,
Alabama. Ohio State starting center,
Alabama. I don't think they're freshman Jeremiah Smith. I don't think he's going to be afraid to play an SEC team. I don't think he's afraid of anybody. I think he can play in the NFL.
I'm not saying afraid. I'm not saying afraid. I'm saying they're parts. Yeah,
I don't think there's going to be any shell shock factor for those two teams. I just don't see it.
All right.
Maybe the SEC's not that great.
No, I think they are.
Why?
Just
because it's the SEC and we watch it because they have the nice ESPN night game production, or what?
They do have that.
Alex,
which
you don't
helps
like
them
watching
a lot.
games on Peacock?
No, I don't.
Oh.
But like watching the athletes on the field, watching the defensive lines, watching the size of humans, and I do like their quarterbacks better than Will Howard.
I get it. You don't like Ohio State. You have
bias
against them. They have the same type of skill players that any of these SEC teams do. Or probably better. They probably have the best skill players of any of these teams.
The best.
I don't care. I'm more focused about the men on the defensive and offensive lines. That's what wins championships in college football.
Ohio State doesn't have little
probably
people.
The best.
Oregon's D line is probably the best in the country.
Getting at the quarterback, don't know. Run defense, the best.
I'm interested to see what happens.
Michigan State transfer.
I'm having a thought in my head. Again, I'm still workshopping. It's week 12, but I could be that year where the SEC just blows people's doors off in the playoffs. But maybe not.
LSU lost to USC.
Neither of those teams are that good.
Aw.
LSU beat Ole Miss.
Again, though, it was a week 6 or whatever game, and Ole Miss lost that game. LSU did not beat them.
Yeah.
Ole Miss led every single second.
But they did lose.
Like teams, if Wisconsin pulled out a miracle win against Oregon, they didn't. Again, we're playing what ifs now, but that sucks for Ole Miss, or Oregon. I'm not going to think that they're terrible all of a sudden. There's just certain situations in college football where LSU's at home at night off a bye, and Ole Miss has played 6 straight games. It's a bad spot for Ole Miss to win. They should have still won.
Just saying, the SEC Like, what were their marquee wins out of conference? It's like, oh, they're better than everyone else. I'm not trying to be Danny Cannell here and say the SEC bias and say they're not good because they are good. But
that's a good question. I don't know.
Alabama beat Wisconsin on the road more than Oregon did.
Circumstances are different.
Indiana, Ohio State will tell me a lot.
Oh!
How?
It's a big game.
Two Big Ten teams playing each other again.
If Indiana hangs with them late in the game, I think that's a red flag for Ohio State. Personally.
Didn't the year they almost beat Georgia, they had red flag games every single week, and then they got to the
Clemson, Texas A&M, Notre Dame.
Yeah, Georgia killed Clemson, I guess. But
well, I mean, their red flag was they got blown out by Michigan by like 20 points at home. That was a red flag.
Yeah, but then they were a field goal away from probably winning a national title.
Yeah, because there's the guy under center is a baller.
Tennessee, NC State.
I don't know if Will Howard's as good as CJ Stroud, okay?
But all these other SEC quarterbacks are not CJ Stroud either. Who is?
They're better.
They're better than CJ Stroud.
Oh,
no, better than Will Howard.
Shut your mouth. They're not.
And I think they're playing better ball.
Based on what?
The games on the field, watching them.
So
Jalen Milroe versus LSU.
Struggling against Arkansas is like, oh, that's great. It's better than Will Howard.
Jackson Dart, I think, is playing better. Carson Beck played his best game of the year against Tennessee. Actually looked competent.
The Carson Beck that's thrown like 20 interceptions this season.
Yeah, he's looked really bad.
Offensive line play has been bad in front of Carson Beck.
He
you watch college
game
day, you know.
Tennessee.
If you listen to Nick Saban, you know.
Oh, I did not. I missed that segment. I saw the kid make the kick, though. Good for him.
Drilled it.
I just think you guys have your SEC blinders on, you know? Well, not Evan, because Evan thinks Oregon and Ohio State can beat these teams. I think they can, too.
I think I picked Oregon to win the national championship, and I still hold to it. I think I had Ohio State and Oregon in the national championship.
The only SEC team that I would worry about for Oregon and Ohio State, genuinely worry about, would be Georgia because they've done it. They had dudes.
What does by worry mean? Like blow them out? Like win by 2 scores? Or what do you mean by
I don't think
worry?
anyone's beating Oregon and Ohio State by 2 scores. I think Georgia would be able to physically. The only team from the SEC that could dominate physically against Oregon and Ohio State, I think, would be Georgia. I wouldn't be worried. So
you would think if Oregon and Ohio State played Ole Miss, Alabama's not
big,
or Texas,
push people around.
If they played those 3 teams, you would feel confident taking a bet with a friend, $20 that Ohio State or Oregon win. I'm just gauging your level of confidence.
Against Ole Miss, yes. Against Bama, yes. Against Texas, again, I just don't know because I haven't seen anything about them. I would have to think about that. That'll be a hold until I see how they play at Kyle Field.
We're monitoring the SEC versus Big Ten this year.
I didn't know you guys were so SEC biased.
Whoa.
I love watching SEC football. It's better watching than Big Ten football. There, I said it. If that's what you want me to say, Correct. It's way better. Penn State, Purdue sucked. LSU, Florida, at least entertaining. They have DJ Lagway, a true 5-star freshman throwing back shoulder fades. Okay, Purdue's throwing out Hudson Card, and he's run around scoring 0 points.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
You pushed me.
How many seconds did you watch Nebraska?
SEC football is way better to watch.
USC. How many seconds did you watch of that?
0.
Okay.
A few at B-dubs by myself. There was bad holding on that last play.
The product is more
Our
entertaining.
product sucks.
We also have the shitty TV deal.
The networks suck. The announcers suck. I'm tired of Big Ten football this year. It sucks.
Big Ten football has been very bad, no doubt.
I missed the game of the year because I was in LSU. I saw field storming. I didn't see the mega game of the year in the Big Ten.
I don't think we should take away from Ohio State and Oregon because the rest of the Big Ten is dog shit.
I want to. That's what I'm trying to push an agenda.
But I'm saying that's not fair.
That's fair. You're reasonable. We'll wait, but I hope I'm right and I can look back.
The rest of the Big Ten, is a joke.
According to your rankings, do you think Penn State would beat Texas?
No.
Top 5.
Texas is at 6.
Above them.
Texas is at 6 to prove a point that they haven't beat anyone. That was going to be my whole segment. And we did it.
Well, this
but I think Notre Dame would beat Penn State.
Yeah, so do I. I said the 6 teams I thought could win the title. Penn State was not one of them.
But you have them top 5 just for fun.
Yeah.
Live a little. Put them outside your top 10 because they've been inside the top 10 all year on everyone else.
I just had to put Texas in a spot where they need to prove something. I want them to beat Kentucky by 40 this week. Can they
now,
do
the
that?
one legit thing about Ole Miss and like if they had to play Penn State in the first game, I think the whole SEC traveling north in the wintertime being a problem could come to
Happy
fruition.
Valley at night in the snow, Ole Miss, Penn State.
Tennessee
Watch Drew
had
not be able to score an offensive touchdown. Yeah, it's going to happen.
the broadcast was talking about Tennessee being perturbed on their sideline because their heaters broke.
It's like
55 degree game in Georgia.
Yeah, they were cold.
And I was like, I didn't even think they'd have heaters on the sideline in 55 degrees in Georgia. I don't think you need heaters on your sideline.
Yeah,
so that could be a real thing with Ole Miss traveling to Penn State.
55 here is full winter. Like people wear winter coats.
That's a problem.
Tennessee has
go to 28
heaters.
I guess
it's
so.
not just like stadium provided.
No, you bring
when
that thing in.
when it only gets to like 55, you probably.
Well, I guess it makes sense because like if you're an away team, like your home team, like you're not helping the opposing team, I guess. So
yeah, like I think in Miami that teams have to bring in their own cooling system or like shade over their bench.
I saw on Twitter.
Stupid the NFL rule is about shade on the sideline.
No,
is that the NFL? You can't have anything like. It has to. What do they say? It has to be movable. So they just bring all these giant canopies that, like, equipment managers just hold the entire game. Like you can't like stake anything.
That would suck.
In. It can't be stationary.
That would suck. Should we do quickly Lions? Go NFL? Or do we want to just get college football out of our system and talk about our two terrible programs?
Let's talk about our two terrible programs.
Well, mine didn't play, and I'm not looking forward to... Oh, it is a rivalry game, though, with Northwestern. What's that trophy for? I just want to know the name of it again.
You guys have a trophy?
A rivalry game with
Battle for the Brady Hoke trophy?
Yeah, it's like 4 years old. Oh, yeah, it was established in 2021. It's the George Jewett Trophy. He was the first African-American to play football for both schools. He played for Michigan in the 1890s as a fullback, halfback, and kicker while studying medicine. And then he's the first black player in the Big Ten Conference as well. So it's a more historic nod for him. They've been playing since 2021. Northwestern has never won it, so they're trying to win it for the first time this year. It's hard to take seriously just because it was started.
Game home or away?
Oh, they've only played it once. It's at Ann Arbor. I think Michigan is actually favored by double digits, which shows how bad Northwestern's viewed at. 12.5-point favorites, 37.5 over/under
to make a bowl game.
Final score of 25-12 is the implied total in that game, which is disgusting.
To make a bowl game.
I'm not watching for anything in this game. I don't care. I probably will not watch it. Unless Jaden Davis was starting, I'd like to get my eyes on a new kid. That won't be happening. To make a bowl game for pride, I guess, another month of practice. I guess I'll go Michigan wins 17-3.
I'll go Michigan 6-0.
Yes.
Michigan will win 19-5.
Safety. Michigan State
not
lost.
A safety. 2-point conversion interception return.
Nice. Michigan State
falls to Illinois.
Falls to 4-6, 2-5 in the conference loss versus Illinois.
Adjustments in the second half leads to 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Stall.
Whoa! They scored the touchdown on the first possession.
Bad adjustments. What did they adjust to?
And then look at the summary and each drive after that. 3 plays 6 yards, 3 plays 9 yards, 3 plays 8 yards. It's pathetic.
Too predictable? What did they do?
It's a team that can't run the ball or can't protect your quarterback. So
offensive line
your entire offense.
Horrible.
Their D-line is solid.
Aiden Childs was running around for his life in the 5 minutes I watched.
I think our skill players are solid, but just 100% offensive line play. And I'm not discrediting the guys. I mean, we've had 3 or 4 season-ending offensive line injuries, so I don't think these guys are ready to play.
Yeah, it shows.
Is it to the point where it's like where I had my debates in my head about how bad Michigan's quarterback system is, where you can't make your final judgments on Brian Lindgren because the offensive line is kind of limiting anything you'd want to do as an offense?
I'm 100% not discrediting him.
Because you saw when we were reasonably healthy, it can work.
It clicks. There's moments where it clicks.
But when you're true freshmen
they're
playing, they stink.
Most of it is, it's just talent, and there's a talent gap. There's an uproar for Michigan State fans, and I think Alex might be leading the charge, but
no,
it's not going well.
What's the uproar?
It's all about recruiting right now. It's getting
because the season is over. So now you're looking ahead.
It's
to
getting
cabinets.
even
You're like, oh
louder on social media.
But I think
for Michigan State fans,
to not be the leader of that, we have to remember we're going to hit the portal pretty hard. So that can make your recruiting class much better. And those guys are more likely to come in and play anyways. And you saw this year, the portal guys we brought in, they all are like starters and play and are probably like our best players. So
Ed Woods.
Just for those worried about the 87th recruiting class or something terrible. It's like 50 something. It's really bad. Probably the lowest I've ever seen it.
I know it's bottom 3 in the Big Ten, and there's a lot of teams in the Big
Ten.
Ten.
It's probably the worst recruiting class we've ever had in the 247 era.
Stats and info check.
I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it because the Antonio classes were always like top 25, top 30, worst case.
He won over the living room.
Mel Tucker class as well. They were very good.
I wonder how Jonathan Smith does in the living room.
Notre Dame got a 4-star safety today.
No,
I did not.
I instantly wanted to comment on this post because the dude's recruitment video was an Indy card was inside Memorial Stadium. Like an Indy 500 car. Mm-hmm. He was posing within his recruiting fan. I was like, be careful what you wish for in those.
Oh, because Mel, the cars.
Be careful what you wish for in those recruiting videos.
Were there Rottweilers next to him? Because that's another red flag.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have nothing to say about the football game other than the offensive line's bad and we haven't had a sack. Did we have a sack? I didn't watch.
Probably not.
If not, we still haven't had a sack since September, and they were saying it's like the longest active or longest streak by a college football team since 2005 or something without a sack.
Drew Stanton. Years.
No, not Michigan State. Not Michigan State. Any team ever. something like absurd. We don't even get pressures really either.
Well, those don't matter, thankfully.
Yeah, thank God.
Most of them don't matter.
I think Illinois, comparing both teams, was like the game where you really, really wanted the season to be over. When Michigan lost to Illinois, I wanted the season to be over immediately. And I would say for most Michigan State fans, for the little hope or interest
Indiana had going out for me.
But a bye week, you want to at least finish the last 3 games strong. This probably was like, I don't really care to see anything about Purdue on a Friday night.
Definitely
don't really care about Rutgers.
The basketball team is now in full swing at the start of their season. So
yes, and you got to watch their games with the wire because you never know what's going to happen.
Especially when it gets on 8, you might get nervous.
All right,
so last week I asked you guys about cashing my bet, getting to bowl eligibility. We saw how Illinois went.
Still can. Got to win the last 2.
No. I know guys. I'm saying, are you confident in a 2-0 start or end to the year with this team?
Confident?
This club.
I'm confident in Friday night.
We have like 16-year-olds. Our best corner out for the year. Our best safety out for the year. Our whole offensive line out.
Where's Majid? Is he hurt?
He's out for the year.
Damn it.
He got hurt at the beginning of the year.
I know.
We don't have any players. We're running out of players. The same thing happened last year because we don't have a roster built of depth.
Because it's hard to build a roster of depth when you have transfers, new coaching staff.
Yeah, which is fine.
Small recruiting classes.
And then when you have 58 injuries like Michigan State does every year, then you get to the end of the season. It's rough. Luckily, we played Purdue Friday and Rutgers.
13.5 favorites against Purdue. So that also tells you what they think about Purdue. You're favored by 2 touchdowns against a team.
Jesus, I like our favorite. I like our odds.
We should
win.
Over
under 49.5. You're projected to score 30 points against Purdue.
We should win. I mean,
where are those touchdowns coming from?
Despite the final score against Illinois, we were only down like 5 late in the third quarter.
Can we stop praising Jonathan Kim too?
Yeah, he stinks. He missed another PAT.
Sure.
PAT grant.
Yeah, he missed a PAT to tie the game.
Yeah, but the Iowa game.
He won one game.
He made 5 field goals, Evan.
Won us the Iowa game, then lost us the Michigan game, so I will not forgive him.
That's true.
I'd rather have him lose us the Iowa game and win us the Michigan game.
True.
That's a fact.
Thank you. It's my last comment I have to say about that football team.
Yeah. Well, I have one more question. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
We all know this season is what it is, right? You guys have been on the camp the whole year. It was always going to suck.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Alex, at the start of the year, you changed a little bit, like 8 wins, but
Alex and I did say at the end of the year 6-6, 7-5. I wrote down, I look back, I said 7-5. Maybe we upset somebody. And on pace right now, hopefully it's a 6-6 season.
What'd I say?
Your optimism probably peaked in that second half of the Maryland game with the Nick Marsh bombs. Like, it had to be the peak of like, oh God, we might win 8 games. That had to be the peak.
Absolutely.
Of like,
didn't realize our offensive line was going to be as bad as it is.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
So, again, setting the stage, we all know we're going to take our lumps this year, but there is a point in terms of pride and like total anger and embarrassment you have as a team. How must win is this Purdue game? Like, there are games if you lose where you're like, you know what? I don't care if they fire the entire staff the next day because it's like that painful. Are we bordering on that? Or are we still like, I'm so checked out, I don't care.
Fire the entire staff? No.
Okay.
Not care about the football program for a while? Yes.
Like, actively talk shit about them, don't care about recruiting, don't give it any hope until week 1. They have to prove it all.
Yes.
You lost to Purdue last year.
I would not invest any money into that football program. I would not go to a game next year. And I'm missing going to games, and I've only gone to 2 this year.
I'm a little worried that we could lose.
Alex, come on. It's Purdue.
We have like
we're gonna lose at Purdue. We're gonna lose at Purdue.
2 freshman kids out there that haven't played at all.
No, they're not freshmen anymore. It's week 12.
Amen, Grant.
First time they played was last week.
I love that cliche of coaches every year. You're not freshmen anymore. We're a team of all sophomores.
There's kids out there with numbers I've never heard of. I'm like, who are these people? That's never a good sign. We're rotating
most of the corners in, so
every corner on the roster I think is played now. So that's
we're gonna give up a couple. We're gonna give up some points. I know that for a fact. Our rush defense looked good most of the time.
Friday night loss to Purdue might be one of the lowest points in program history.
Alex, no, we can't.
Grant, you were not around pre-2007, so
I mean, I was alive.
But you didn't know how bad it was.
the coaches are screwing it up. I know the quote.
I looked that clip up. It was hilarious. Just an all-time bad coaching situation there. If you look up the situation of what he was getting pissed off about.
What was it? I don't know what that detailed.
So we at Ohio State ranked matchup. We're ranked 16th. They're ranked 18th. We are dominating the first half. We're trying to kick a field goal at the end of the first half. Okay, end of the first half. For whatever reason, we don't just spike the ball, and we try to rush on the special teams unit.
Oh, no.
We're down a guy, we have one less guy, and they say, F it, we're kicking it. They kick it, and it just gets absolutely blocked and sent to the house.
They scored a touchdown?
And John L. Smith is so dumb and stupid. Instead of, trying to, de-escalate the situation or call a time or do anything else, all he does is scream and throw his headset off. That's it. And then he's a mother effing the special teams coach on the sideline, and Brett Musburger is rubbing it in our face that Ohio State has scored. Holy
I need to watch that, Clay.
What a blunder by the Spartans.
It's been worse. Grant, it's been worse.
That is so good.
And then the reporter's running out there at John L. Smith, since I think we still technically had a 2-point lead after that point. John, thoughts on the first half?
It's good
That's
clip.
so good.
You should watch it.
Yeah,
great clip. You're gonna have to. That's when Big Ten football is on ABC, Grant.
Brett Musburger. Yeah, we need to be better.
God, I miss Burnt Cheeseburger.
I miss Bob Wischusen.
No.
Bob Wischusen, good.
No,
Sean McDonough,
I
good.
Do. I miss Greg McElroy. I mean,
good.
I would take Tessitore right now. I would.
I always liked him. Everyone else hates him, though. He's too loud for people.
His Monday Night Football was not for him. He
was
a
time where nobody was good on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
John Gruden, Mike Tirico.
You know where I'm at with Michigan football? I don't know if I should release it for the show yet because we're going too long. But I have in the Michigan men chat, national champions chat, we have 3 offensive coordinator candidates who are already eyeing up to take the job. I'm in the weeds. I'm looking at passing yards. Not passing yards, yards on offense across the country, identifying people that are the minds behind that.
So you're getting Jeff Monken from Army as your offensive coordinator.
I would take it.
You'd run the triple.
Keep Alex Orgy. We run the package. Yeah, but so that way, I just want to be ready. When anyone asks me, Grant, OC, Kirk Campbell's done, I'm ready. Here's my top 3 guys. Boom.
Give me one of the names?
Well, yes. The dream one, Brian Griese, prodigal son. QB coach for the 49ers. I love the Shanahan tree.
He's not in the booth anymore?
No, he's a quarterback coach for the 49ers.
ESPN canned his ass. ESPN's canning
I did not know
everybody that actually cares about the sports are canning their ass for celebrities.
Get
he's not. He's built for balls. Also would do that.
see Inside the NBA is coming to ABC, ESPN.
Yeah, I did see a tweet about that.
I'm just happy that they won't be on March Madness anymore.
Oh, good spin.
It's a good show.
I'll give you all three. Brian Greasy would be sick. Give me anyone with the Shanahan tree. He obviously has gotten smarter since he's been in San Francisco. He couldn't have got dumber. He's working with QBs every day. All right, fair, Evan. Fair.
Gino.
2, another I'm coming home video. Do you know
Denard Robinson?
No. Do you know who the head coach who has a top 10 offense in offensive yards right now for Jacksonville State is?
Stephen Threet.
Rich Rodriguez.
Rich Rodriguez. Still got it. Top 10 offense, Jacksonville State.
No way
in
in
the last
hell
one,
he's not coming back
to be an offensive coordinator.
He
probably because they
did him so dirty. There's no way.
That whole department.
He had your program ready.
There.
He did.
Ward Manuel was not there. Ward Manuel was not there during that
Rich
time.
Rod would have made your program good.
Ready.
And you guys fired his ass, and then Brady Hoke got to reap the benefits for one.
Well, he also had kind of like a early Jason Mensing problem at Tecumseh where the defense never got good enough. Like his offense did work.
His offense was sweet.
It worked. The defense just wasn't good enough yet, so they got rid of him.
Well, they didn't give him.
It happens sometimes to do coaches. You got to get the defenses in order.
Mm-hmm.
Got to find your what's that guy's name? Teakin. Got to find Todd Teakin to get things in order on defense. My last one. This guy could be sick. Jason Beck, offensive coordinator for New Mexico. They just beat Washington State. He's the 4th highest in offensive yards, and their head coach is a defensive guy. So Beck is the one, because that's important. If your head coach is the offensive guy, got to discredit a little bit. His head coach is a defensive guy. So he's running the show on offense. I'm ready.
The Lobos?
The Lobos.
Did the Lobos beat Kansas earlier this year?
Maybe. They're good. Jason Beck is running the good offense.
Jason Beck.
They were talking about that offensive coordinator.
Jason Beck.
Wait, isn't there another Jason Beck?
Jason Beck.
Oh, I'm thinking Jason Benetti. That's stupid.
Carson Beck.
Sorry.
Jason Beck sounds like a Tigers bullpen pitcher.
Jason Beck. All right. Yeah, so must win Purdue. Yeah, kind of, because Evan's going to boycott the entire
must win. Yeah, we should win. If we don't, I'm going to be
will not walk into
fully invested into basketball again, which I already am. I'm already not going to base any plans.
Hockey school, Alex. Hockey school.
Michigan State football. That's why I played golf. That's why I didn't watch, because I didn't care.
Basketball. Do you have any meaningful takeaways from the Michigan State Bowling Green game, like big picture wise for the season, or was it just like a one-off? You don't really care.
I thought they showed some grit down the stretch.
I don't take most of the games that seriously.
It doesn't matter really how you're playing right now.
It was affecting my emotions there Saturday night, but after a while, I just.
Well, Grant thinks we're probably the worst shooting team in the country, and we're not going to get any better. So. If that's true.
I don't know how much better we're going to get. I think we'll improve a little bit, but I said at the beginning of the pregame that we are not a very good jump shooting team.
We do need to – that would need to get better for me to feel better.
Well, those are just –
don't know how much better it's going to get.
What?
Michigan
Same
State
thing started last year. So then it got better.
But we had better talent shooters on the court last year.
Jaden Akins is a 40% three-point shooter. That's like 2 of 20.
I agree he will improve, but I think everyone else around him.
He had a 40% year 2 years ago.
Correct.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think his career bears that out.
I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about everybody else.
Holloman finally had a good game, I guess.
I did not worry about Tyson Walker if he had a bad shooting night.
That's
with this team, people that have a bad shooting
he's
night,
not comparable to anyone on this team.
Correct. That's why I'm saying if you have a bad shooting night on this team, if your name's not J.A., then there's reason for concern. Trey Holloman, I'm not too worried about. I think he's more of a spot-up shooter, and he kind of is.
He did well Saturday.
Yes. But everyone else.
Frankie Fiddler, concerning that he hasn't made a shot yet. Booker, I think he is a good shooter, has good form.
I think Fiddler's only made made one late 3 against Kansas that didn't mean anything, but other than that, it's all been.
He's really good at getting to the lines, so I don't hate that. Yeah. We do not have a alpha. Well, Akins is like an alpha, but he's not polished enough.
Double, 13 to 12. He had 12 rebounds on Saturday.
The key to this team is going to be defense, rebounding, and getting inside and running on the break. That's what it is. And they can win a lot of games doing that. It's just not going to be pretty all the time.
Well, then everybody's going to say, oh, Colin Carr can't shoot. I don't need that kid. I do not need Colin Carr to shoot.
He should be talked about. He's having a quietly very good start.
He's in there for
starting at the 4.
He's in there for multiple reasons. And those multiple reasons are athleticism, defense, and attacking.
He's getting man boards. He's taking people off the dribble and just going in the paint and dunking over you.
And
you really can't stop that.
Cutting very well.
Yeah. He should play 29 minutes a game.
I agree. I think his minutes need to go
We talked
up.
about that last year during the tournament. We
last
said
year he was a little
4.
shaky. Still, He didn't know where to be. This year he looks.
He did not know where to be on offense last year. This year
he's 25 times better this year.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He can dribble too a little bit.
You take your center problem or your depth, and you just rotate Zapala, Booker, Kohler at the 5, and you just let Colin Carr play like 75% of the minutes at the 4, and that's probably your best lineup.
I think the centers have played okay. Not Booker. Okay. Excluding Booker, he's obviously been disappointing. But
so I guess big picture wise, because I think that big discussion is the 3-point shooting.
Yeah,
like it or not, it doesn't matter. So 16 of 80, 20% through 4 games.
Really
Any long term concerns for that? Because you can still win by defense, rebounding. And running. I just feel like to get to where you want to go, it does have to get.
If that shooting clicks and gets to a 30-something% spot, I think we would be a problem for a lot of teams, because if threes start falling, it will open the floor up more, and we already run and can already get into the paint, no problem, it seems like. So if you open up the floor even more with threes, Colin Carr is going to have 15 dunks a game, which would be nice. The problem is I don't know if they're ever going to get there. I think they have good shooters, but I don't know who it is.
I don't think our volume will go we're not going to shoot as many threes as we did last year. Just the volume, not even just because we can't shoot that well. It's just the people that are on the court they're slashers more. Like AJ Hoggard was settling for threes last year. Malik Hall, as he stretched forward, was shooting threes. Tyson Walker was shooting threes. Jeremy Fears, I'm sorry, is not shooting threes. Colin Carr is not going to shoot threes. Trey Holloman's only shooting a 3 if he is a catch and shoot. Mm-hmm. I think the offense is totally different than last year and the years prior to that. Just based off of the talent that we have, we're more of a drive finisher on the rim team.
I think what needs to happen is Booker needs to become the stretch 4, and he needs to hit the shots that he was hitting last year. Fiddler needs to prove he can hit it so that
I
people
think those two are the ones that I'm most.
I think Fiddler will figure it out. Better. Booker's minutes, he already only played 10 minutes against Bowling Green.
Would you package deal trade both of them for senior year Joey Hauser?
Joey Hauser never had a bad year.
No.
Correct. I would.
I don't think we could, though.
You missing Joey Hauser. And I keep thinking it ever since he graduated. And it's not just because of Evan.
We need a knockdown shooter. No doubt.
Yes. That 4, that's just a pain in the ass.
But Booker can shoot.
What you need.
He can. And he's always open.
Because I don't believe it. I don't believe it right now.
I don't think his shooting is
I'm not trying to be a hater.
He's not
Last year he proved it. He made it almost every time he went in.
He is
I don't believe it.
Bricking a lot. He made one against Bowling Green.
He did. He came in off the bench, hit his first 3 to start the game yesterday. Or 2 days. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has a good stroke. He does. He hit a couple against North Carolina in the tournament. He's not a joke.
He's not. I don't think he's not missing his shots bad.
He's just deep on him right now.
He's got to prove it to me.
Fine.
I'm the hater in the corner. I'm not hating on him. I
can hate on the other 10,000 other basketball programs at this point on November 17th because everyone has flaws right now. That's just how it goes. You would hope that you're not going to. Realistically, Michigan State is not going to shoot 20% from 3-point range the entire season. It's just not going to happen. They're not going to be the 3rd worst team in the entire Division I at 3-point shooting.
I'm not saying that's not physically possible. There is a
Jay Akins has proved to be a near 40% 3-point shooter for an entire season before. That will get better, you would think.
I'm not worried about him.
Holloman was our best 3-point shooter last year.
Not worried about him.
He'll be fine. Fears isn't going to take a lot of threes, so he's not going to hurt the percentage.
Not going to shoot threes.
Jace Richardson can definitely hit threes. He's hit a couple already. I think he'll be fine. You just need more volume. And then if you can get some out of Booker, you'll be fine. I don't think my long story short is there's no reason to hit the panic button on Michigan State basketball on November 17th. because they're shooting 20% from three.
We'll not hit the panic button. I think our schedule plays fairly well for us, especially our December games.
You just need the 3-point shooting to click at some point. I think you could still win a lot of games playing this way.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like you guys are going to have to play really good, prime Virginia Cavaliers defense, though, with some of that.
I mean, we're in a game with Kansas all the way down to the 3-minute mark, who's the number one team in the country, and we shot 2 for 50 from three.
Yeah.
Imagine 4 of those go in.
If anything proven, if you want to say, okay, Michigan State's not a ranked team, Kansas ain't the best team in the country.
I agree with that. I think it's more
if you want to say, hey, Michigan State's not that quality of a team, fine. Okay, I don't care. Like Alex said, it's November. Doesn't mean shit to me. But Kansas ain't number one. How bad we shot it, Kansas just slightly wasn't as worse as us. That's basically all it came down to.
Yeah.
Did it suck losing to Hunter Dickinson? Yes.
Also, Michigan State could go to Maui next week, somehow win the Maui, and shoot great from 3, and then people will be like, oh, they're great. They have no chance?
UConn.
No. You're not winning the Maui.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're going to.
No.
I'm saying what if they do?
I'm hoping we go
and then you're like, oh, I'm wrong.
I will lose money. I'll take action on
Kansas
that.
And UConn.
In your favor. Yeah.
If they beat Colorado, lose to UConn, and then beat Auburn, I think that's a win.
Auburn should be in the championship.
They're more likely to lose to Colorado than win the Maui.
I don't even know how good Colorado is.
Hey, Greg, you're basing this on one basketball game against Bowling Green. So you think Michigan State's not a tournament team? I just want to get that on the record right now.
No. They can make the tournament.
Do you think they will?
We almost lost Anthony Edwards. We lost to Virginia Tech in the Maui 1 year.
We're historically terrible.
That was with Cassius Winston and Xavier Tillman on the team. We lost to Virginia Tech in the first game.
Yeah,
and then we were up 35 points, and we almost lost to Anthony Edwards.
We're not good in the Maui. We'll probably lose.
I think MSU has a pretty favorable Big Ten schedule overall. I expect them to be in the NCAA
tournament. You think Michigan's
tournament.
better than Michigan State at basketball?
That I don't know right now. I don't know.
Wake Forest lost to someone bad yesterday.
We lost to Xavier. Not bad.
By 10.
Miller.
That doesn't
Sean Miller.
That doesn't change my stock of Michigan basketball at all.
Well, I'm just saying we can't be sitting here saying Michigan's great.
Stanford's 4-1.
Michigan injected an entire new team that's supposed to learn how to play together in the first month of the season.
Michigan State is in a similar situation. Jeremy Fears didn't play last year because he got shot in the leg. Xavier Booker didn't play last year because he sucked. Frankie Fiddler's a
Jeremy
transfer.
Fears has
Jace
been
Richardson
in the program,
is a true
though.
freshman.
Jeremy Fears has been in the
one
program.
season, and he got shot. He wasn't practicing, Grant.
He got shot in the face.
He wasn't doing it. He wasn't around. He was shot.
He got shot in the face. He scored a touchdown.
Jeremy Fears is, yes, in the program, but
Jeremy Fears got shot in the leg and was not walking.
Our head guy is brand new, too. You've had the same coach for 25 years.
Yes, we have the same
30.
coach.
Grant, put some respect on his name.
Sorry. God forbid.
But, I mean, we have a lot of new players that have not been playing basketball for us. So
it's not comparable situations, though. It's not.
Well, the experience level of the guys on your team and the experience level on our team, you probably have more experienced basketball players than we do.
That's a different conversation.
And I just made the conversation.
So there's a huge difference between that and guys that have played together.
Yes, the Michigan State team that has played together for now 3 games. And the Michigan team that's played together for now 3 games. Or I don't know how many games you've played.
You know the point I'm trying to make. Now you're just
I'm telling you it's not a good point.
Details.
Because this team, Michigan State, hasn't been playing together because we lost 4 of our 5 starters last year.
Yeah, we lost the entire program. The entire was a copy and paste out.
That's not true. Burnett started last year and he starts this year.
Jace Howard is still there. You're right.
Namari Burnett is still there.
Yeah, credit to him for staying. He's pretty good.
We have 4 new starters. You have 4 new starters.
All right, they're the same situation.
Thank you.
Is that what you want me to say?
Yep. No different. One team just happened to beat Bowling Green by 14 and everyone hit the panic button. That's all. The other lost to Wake Forest, no panic button.
The expectations of the season are completely different.
Yeah, agreed.
Not according to The Athletic. So, Michigan should finish higher than us.
Yeah, correct.
True. Some national articles did rank teams higher.
Michigan State is not a tournament team. They're not. They won't be.
Why do you keep doing a reverse jinx of like saying that? I don't know why. You believe they are. Everyone on this podcast believes they're going to make the tournament.
100% believe they are.
They could not be. I guess it's possible.
Sure. Yeah. It is possible. Sample size too small to tell right now.
It's more likely they lose twice in Maui than it is they make the tournament.
Wait. Says saying.
So that means we would lose to Colorado, then lose again to the next team?
Yeah, I don't know who that would be, though.
Someone decent. Every team
I don't know enough.
Colorado's the worst team there.
I don't have the Maui bracket off the top of my head.
I was just looking at it.
Iowa
you could
State,
lose to Memphis or Dayton. Sure.
Dayton, Memphis, Iowa State, UConn, North Carolina.
North Carolina,
Auburn. Us.
Michigan State, UConn is on one side.
There are 4 better teams there, for sure.
For sure.
The other side is the gauntlet. Because you have North Carolina,
kidding me, Grant? You can't say that. You haven't watched.
I can.
Have you watched a full basketball game of any of those 4 teams? Don't.
Good chunk of Auburn. A good chunk of Auburn.
You watched Auburn Houston while you were on FaceTime. I was on the FaceTime. You were not watching.
Oh, I was dialed in.
No, Marissa was watching.
I am allowed to say that. I can be wrong. I can say
you
it.
can't say that if you haven't watched the teams.
I feel good that I'll be right about it.
What 4 teams?
Thanks for asking. I knew you would. UConn.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Fair.
Auburn. Iowa State.
This is just a stupid conversation because
you know it. No, Evan, you know it. You know.
Well, North Carolina is the same team we did.
I have not watched Auburn, but I think the only team that we can't beat is UConn.
Yeah, sure. I agree with that. I think we have the ability to beat a lot of teams.
Correct.
Maybe. UConn lost a lot. I mean, they're starting to true freshmen.
Great. You just said clearly those 4 teams are better than us on November 17th. Not even close.
Yeah, but I was saying to Evan's take of like, I wouldn't say you couldn't beat them. I think they're 4 better teams, but just because you beat a team on one night, I'm saying rest of season goals, I think those 4 teams are better.
It's supposed to be.
I think it's good to fly under the radar. Michigan State basketball teams typically improve as they go on.
I mean, UConn's leading scorers are the Alex Caravan kid from last year. Remember what he looks like?
Good.
Just kind of
white.
And then Liam McNeely, their other
never heard of her
freshman,
5-star freshman,
white freshman kid. Basically, there's Xavier Booker. So,
well, our Xavier Booker's not very good.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He's
not yet. He'll get better.
Straw that stirs the drink.
No, he's not. No one said that.
He has to be.
No,
to go to where you want to go.
Do you think?
Yeah, you can't reach the heights you want to reach. You will not compete in the Big Ten if he doesn't figure it out.
I don't think the Big Ten's that good.
You don't think Michigan State can win the Big Ten with Booker playing 12 minutes a game? I don't know if you saw
Purdue on Friday night, but I can assure you Purdue is pretty damn good still, I think.
They were also at home.
Alabama's a fraud.
They were at home.
Yeah, but Alabama's good. They had one of the best players in the country walk into their gym, Mark Sears, and they handled them.
It's Nate Oates. He doesn't coach defense.
The same Alabama team that lost like 7 games in the beginning of last year and then made the Final Four. So, like, again, November basketball. Shouldn't gauge too much into it.
But to my Xavier Booker point, yes, he is the X factor in this entire season.
So if he plays less than 12 minutes a game, which is what he's now on pace to do after the last game,
yeah,
voice crack, you think we'll be bad? Like
you can
Michigan,
still make the tournament.
Like Michigan last year. What's our floor?
No.
Final question.
Michigan last year lost their last like 20 games.
Yeah, sorry.
What are you talking
What's
about?
What's our floor? What's this team's floor on your, because you've watched 2 games? What's our floor?
Let me pull up the Big Ten.
And how many Big Ten games have you watched? 1?
A good chunk, but I also like follow the conference and see like the Derek King kid from Maryland, pretty damn good.
I watched Maryland Marquette. Maryland has some
supposed
players.
to be your Xavier Booker.
Enough with that.
It's true, though. It's all going to come down to him.
We have other good players. Every player on our team is like a top 50 player in their recruiting class.
Yeah, but you got to have like a guy in the front court that's good, too.
Colin Carr.
All be backcourt.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. I like him a lot. He's my favorite player on your team. Floor like 8th in the Big Ten.
It's not that
make
bad.
The tournament.
It's an easy tournament.
Maybe win a game by like 5 in the tournament and then not make the second weekend.
That's our floor. What's our ceiling?
The year well, that all depends on Xavier Booker. I don't know.
Well, that's why it's a floor and a ceiling, Grant.
If he gets it together, you could make the Final Four and like everyone clicks. Yeah. It's always anyone can make the Final Four pretty much at this stage in the season.
Correct.
Not Butler. Again, I'm a realist. They lost to Austin Peay. You're out.
But didn't they beat SMU?
They did. They look good. And Connor McCaffrey. No, yeah, Connor. I get their names confused. Patrick McCaffrey is really good. One of the best transfers in the country so far.
But you lost a one-arm kid.
Which you lost to Austin P. So, I mean, you're not that serious.
Okay, that was way too much on basketball for November 17th.
I mean, we didn't really talk about the Lions. I don't know if we have to. They're just so good.
Let's do it really quick. The Lions offense is the best offense I've ever seen in my entire life. The AFC South is a JV division.
It was literally a varsity versus JV game. It was. There's nothing else you can say about it. We are the most fun team to watch in the NFL right now. We're the greatest show on turf.
Amen.
We're the modern
graphic right there.
Show on turf.
Ryan Clark had a great tweet. He just said,
I hate that guy.
Thoughts about him aside, good tweet, made me laugh. He said the Lions, when they play bad teams, are like when you pay a team to come to your campus for homecoming. And you just dust them. 7 picks for Kirby Joseph on the year.
He got a pick. Good for him.
Baller. Yeah.
Kirby fully loaded.
We're the third team with 3 wins of 35 points or more in the first 10 games of the season. The other 2 are the 1973 Falcons and the 1969 Vikings. That Vikings team did win a championship. I looked it up today because I was like, wow, it's only happened 3 times. How'd those teams do?
35. Let's beat by 35 points. Beat the Titans.
Titans, Cowboys, Jags.
Cowboys.
Yeah. This game alone, this specific game, set single game franchise records for margin of win. 46 points, total net yards 466, and total first downs 38. So it might have been the best offensive football game the Lions have ever played in the history of their franchise.
Question.
To be honest, as a Lions fans, we should have saw it coming based off of our offensive performance a week ago.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Is this the greatest Lions team we'll ever see in our life? You have to answer right now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We don't even have our defensive player of the year, which is still sad. I keep thinking about that.
Because we lost our, technically, some would argue our best linebacker, but Jack Campbell leads the league leads the team in tackles.
The best team we'll ever see in Lions history. I hope they win it all.
Feels like this is
best offensive team.
Best team we've ever had. We'll ever have.
Best complete team. 8 straight games, 1 longest win streak since 1934. Not sure what was going on in 1934. And the best start to a season we've had since 1934 as well.
Realistic shot to be 11-1.
What'd you say?
Were we the Portland Spartans that year?
I don't know.
Portland Smith Spartans or something, whatever freaking our team name was before that.
Yeah, the shitty part about the 11-1 start, Alex, is that the Vikings and Packers keep winning, so there's not like this. Like the Bills have their division locked up, and it pisses me off that we're still.
I don't worry about it, Grant. You know why?
I do
because we're just. We're better. We're better than them.
We will. The Vikings and Packers at home.
We'll beat them.
But
I
would like us to be able to relax a little bit.
They'll slip care. Up. Those 2 teams will slip up.
Even if worst case scenario, somehow we lose one of those games.
I don't think we're sweeping both those teams.
No, that's fine. I'm saying somehow we lose the division.
Whoa!
No.
Let's say worst case scenario.
That's awful. No, that's terrible.
I'm just can you just listen?
I'm trying to, but it's scaring me.
We somehow lose the division. We're a wild card team. We have to go to
not Philly. Don't say Philly.
Washington.
Philly.
Yes. First round.
Okay.
And then we go to I guess Arizona or somewhere weird. I don't know. The Niners lost. I was going to say the Niners. Let's say we go to the Niners in the divisional.
Hate that.
And then we play. Oh, God. Every team in the NFC sucks.
Yes, Alex. It's a 2-headed horse race. That's it.
My point is, even if we have to play all those teams in those games in the playoffs, we can still beat everyone we played.
I know, but
we're good. We're in the playoffs.
1 seed. This is about the 1 seed.
Yes, and we're not going to lose it. And if we do, I'm telling you, it's going to be okay because we can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime. That's what Dan
going
says.
To San Francisco for the divisional round is not
ideal, okay, but we could definitely beat them.
We're winning the division. We don't have to worry about it. It's okay.
We can beat anyone. Relax. Enjoy the ride. Stop stressing out.
I don't think we can beat the Ravens.
I'm honestly not stressed.
What?
Stops you guys in your tracks. I still don't until I see it.
To the Steelers. You think we can beat the Steelers?
It's the whole NFC Lamar
Steelers are playing
Jackson
good.
thing. They'd be the best Super Bowl team of all time. He does not lose to the other conference. He doesn't, except for Daniel Jones.
I don't think the Ravens are going to be in the Super Bowl.
Hopefully not.
I think the
Ravens
Bills
are definitely not going to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, I wouldn't say definitely. I mean, they're very good.
I would not call the Ravens very good.
What?
At one point, what are teams?
Fine,
the
they're
record
good.
says what they are.
I'll put them at good now because they have, 4 losses?
They're 7-4, I think.
They're good.
I'm
They're
not
a
calling
good team.
the Ravens very good.
I won't say very now, but they're good.
Fine, they're good.
They lost Mike McDonald. They lost a brainchild.
I do think
defensively.
Lamar would be a problem for us.
I know it would. I've watched it multiple times.
Derrick Henry, we're good against the run. I'd still trust us to stop him. Their receivers are okay. They're not special. Their defense is cheeks this year. We'll score 50 on them.
For housekeeping purposes, Anzalone will be out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken forearm. 8 weeks from right now, or this week, is the wild card weekend. If you're trying to keep track of when you might get him back.
He'll be back for the postseason.
We'll be back in 6 weeks.
Probably 6 with it wrapped up heavy.
But Grant, you said he was done for the year live immediately.
I did never say he was done for the year. I just said he broke something in his arm. He got up and said it's broke.
I watched the entire first half and I missed that play. I was
You said Campbell and Neiman the rest of the way. I thought you meant the rest of the year. I'm I don't think we should be saying that yet. I don't know.
No, the rest of the way is in the foreseeable future for a while. 6 to 8 weeks is a long time.
It is.
Sure. Yeah.
It's half a year.
It was not a minor injury.
No.
That's all.
No.
To the soul of your defense.
Yeah, I've been injured all year. Hasn't stopped us yet.
He had a good attitude about it on Twitter. He said, "Thanks, everyone. I view it as all the times you get lucky, you don't get hurt. So I'll come back with fresh legs."
He'll be ready for the postseason.
But with Derek Barnes' injury, that hurts too.
Derek
now
Barnes.
Can we sign a old veteran? Maybe.
Nah, I'm gonna guess that Dan and Brad trusted guys on the team.
Who's available? You're gonna have to sign somebody for depth, Alex. You can't just keep on losing.
Will Compton.
No, he's not good. He can't.
Locker room guy.
Jalen Reed-Maben, Grant, come on.
Oh, right. We get to see Special Teams Player of the Year.
He played a little 2 weeks ago.
That's actually sick. Free agent linebackers. Levante David.
Right. Levante David.
That'd be a good fit.
It's hard to find a list of currently available free agents. They're all from the offseason, they were free agents. I want to know who's available right now. Anyways, that's pretty much the show. We played the Colts. We're favored by 7.5.
2 weeks ago.
He got signed, though.
I know.
I monitored that because I wondered why he got cut.
Colts.
Any worries about the
Trap
Colts?
Game on the road.
All right, if I was being negative, AR-15 is the type of quarterback we would struggle with running the ball. So that could be a little tough for us.
Their offense isn't good.
Yeah, there's no... We're still questioning the defense.
I'm not
Defense has been
questioning the
lights out.
defense.
I'm not questioning the defense.
Why do we
You
think
lose
they're
some
going to
key
struggle
guys. Yeah, your
against
pass
them?
rush might suck, but your still secondary is playing elite right now. And they come up and tackle, so there's no worries there.
We have the best run defense in the league.
Literally, if we don't turn the ball over and you stop Jonathan Taylor, I don't think there's an issue.
Jonathan Taylor even playing?
Yeah.
AR-15 will throw a deep ball to either Pierce or Pittman, and Terry Arnold will tackle them before it gets there. All right, so just get that out of the way now. We know it's happening for about 70 yards.
I'm honestly fine with him giving a pass interference because most NFL teams can't go the full length of the field. Most likely that team would kick a field goal and not score a touchdown on it.
That should be their whole defense or offense, like the Joe Flacco offense. You just chuck it deep and hope for PIs the entire time from number 0.
We should win by 30. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
I think the Colts could cover.
I think they could keep it interesting, but if we're asleep, we're just too good. We're too good.
32-16 final score.
They beat the Jets, so their fan base will be fired up. They're still in the playoff hunt, so it's not going to be a...
Yeah.
Yep.
Came back. Well, they were winning by 2 touchdowns, and then they blew it.
His legs will give us fits. I already know. I'm already prepared for him to run for 90 yards against us.
No.
I already can see it happening.
Jesus, you're puddling.
Yeah, because we clamp mobile quarterbacks, Alex. That's our strong suit.
We haven't played any this year.
Correct.
Gino.
Correct.
Correct.
Played Gino. He's
Mason
mobile.
Rudolph carved us on an opening drive with his legs.
One drive is not a football game, Grant. Jesus Christ.
I think we'll win. I'm not just honest with us.
You're so soft.
How?
When Michigan fans last year were complaining that you just wouldn't believe in them, that's how I feel right now.
last year. I did last year. I was all in last year at Michigan.
Because several times where they were like, oh, yeah, I can't believe Grant's afraid to say this or this.
I probably will just hunt all weekend next weekend, so I will not watch another useless, meaningless NFL football game.
Well, Evan, this is the best team you'll ever see by the Lions.
Correct. I need to watch it, but it just like...
This one's meaningful.
No.
I think this one will be a good game.
The only way it's meaningful is if I'm hammered at Wild Beaver Saloon watching that game.
How do you think this is going to be a close? I mean, it's
this is our team. This is our Colts. We love them.
Yeah, that guy.
Beat the Lions. Let's tear them down and send them back to Detroit. Go Colts. You see that? He won Super Bowl tickets for doing that shit. He won NFL Fan of the Year.
All right, the Colts have been in one-score game every single time except twice.
I think this could be like the Arizona or Seattle games from week 3 and 4.
So
where they're just
Seattle game was so fun. Yes, have at it. Arizona game was a snooze fest in the second half.
2 possessions pretty much the whole time.
Give me the Seattle game because that means Amonra's going off and my fantasy team's doing well. So yeah,
both of those games we never were sweating or nervous about losing.
That's not true.
I wasn't. Arizona, we never trailed in that game.
I wish I took.
Or I guess we did. They scored the first drive. Yeah,
I'm not saying we're gonna trail and like have to do some miracle comeback win like the Texans. I'm just saying that I don't think this team's just gonna lay down and die. I don't think a team. I'm worried how
Grant. I don't think teams lay down and die when they play us. I think we're just that much better than everyone else. Do you ever think about that?
Yes, I do. The Jags think about beat how good
the Colts a few weeks ago,
but the Colts aren't the Jags.
Well, they lost to the Jags. What did they make them?
Yeah,
Mac Jones Jags are a different level of Jags.
Yeah, but Grant, we scored a touchdown in every single possession with our starters.
Went to a Pro Bowl, so
the Jags' defense isn't that bad, and we scored a touchdown every single drive.
We scored a touchdown every drive against
every drive till Hooker came in. They got a field goal.
Jared Goff didn't play in the fourth quarter, and he threw for 400 yards.
Yeah, I think he had one drive in the fourth quarter, and they scored a touchdown. 7 touchdowns. 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. Jack Fox did not punt today.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jaguars
my God.
Our JV team.
Do the TikTok again. They released a TikTok last time of Jack Fox of his highlights. Last time he didn't punt. It was just him holding the PATs.
Yes, Grant. I agree the Jags are a JV team, but the Colts are not a good team either. We may not score 7 straight touchdowns against them, but we're going to score 5.
We might score 5 out of 7.
So we're going to and they're not going to
They might score 28.
No, they haven't scored 28 all year.
28 points. How many times did they score 28, Alex?
They scored 34 against the Jags in a loss, and that's the only time they've scored over 27. And today, they scored 28.
Yeah, they ain't scoring over 28. They ain't sniffing 28. I stand by my statement. 32-16.
They cover. That's not that
That's
bad.
not a close game, Grant. Come on. In the NFL,
32-26?
32-16.
Oh, they said 26.
What is this weird respect for the Colts? I mean, I hope you're wrong. For sure.
Me too. I don't care if we win by 3. I just want to win games.
I don't care either, but I'm just surprised that you think this is going to be a close game of all the games on our schedule. Like the Bears, I can see it because it's in their division.
No, the Bears are terrible. The Bears are worse than the Colts.
Well, the Bears beat the Colts. At the Colts.
Yeah. No, they did not.
Colts won.
Spewing lies.
Colts won.
21-16.
Caleb Williams had a chance. Game-winning touchdown.
All right, well, if you think the Bears are so bad, the Colts are the same exact team.
And you think we're going to lose to the Bears once. You've already said that last week.
I think we lose on the road at the Bears because at that point we might be resting starters. Be like
just disgusting.
15-1.
Hendon Hooker could beat the Bears.
I think we win 35-14.
Oh.
5 out of 7 touchdown drives.
30-23.
Wow.
Lions.
Colts put on an offensive clinic for the first time all season against the Detroit Lions. Top 5
one possession game. How many one possession games have we had?
Like 2.
The Vikings and the Texans. I think, right?
No.
And
Rams.
Arizona. And Rams.
Arizona was 1 possession.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, we lost.
Yeah.
Oh, Arizona was technically 1 possession, but not really.
I don't see this being a one possession game. I'm sorry.
No, the teams we had 1 possession games with were decent teams. This is not. This team is in the AFC Dookie South that we are dominating. That's the Texans. Good for them for competing.
That's the show. 191. Cheers.
91.